A good evening, a good morning, and a good afternoon everywhere in every time zone. A Joker here with Ghost to Ghost AM. So great to be here on these hallowed of eves. Well, and I normally have a co-host, don't I? Is it Harley? Or is it other the Batman? We shall see. Who do we have today?
Greetings, children from across the internet. Welcome to our macabre little corner of YouTube. We hope you enjoy the show tonight. Oh,
Oh, such
well,
fun. I haven't had enough to drink yet for this to happen.
yep, that's it. Show's over. It's all downhill from here, folks.
Welcome, everyone,
Uh,
to our annual Ghost to Ghost AM edition of Toast to Toast.
if you do it 2 years in a row, it's tradition, right, Paul?
That's what we say.
Mm-hmm.
So we have all kinds of special things happening, but it is we'll be doing the open lines with the ghosts. Dave and I are in slightly. I only usually have one outfit.
Yes. Yes.
And now, Dave, we will need to find out from everyone
Yeah.
who
Oh.
has
What's this?
the better.
Oh, look at this. Throwing
the better costume.
Well, it's yeah. I gotta show off the
Yeah, it's true. You please
the horns
please
didn't work out.
well, here we
Got
go.
Creepy deer skull pendant. Got the it's just, everyone's asking me, is like, what's that from? It's like, it's not from anything. It's just sort of generic demon priest.
And
As
I
one does.
just plunked myself down in this chair after my lovely partner did
It's
did
fantastic.
such a lovely job, and
Yeah.
and I sat down and thought, man, I've never looked more like Mark Hamill than I do right now.
You look good. You look good.
So I had to go with the Mark Hamill Joker.
How long did it take to get the green hair going?
That actually not that long because it's a spray thing. So
Didn't
Yeah.
actually dye it, eh?
didn't no because life other other life going on. I have blonde hair, so it would have just stayed green forever.
Yeah.
Although, maybe it's a test drive. People let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments.
Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and say somebody put their money where their mouth is, and I think that should carry some weight. Call me a capitalist at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Melody Kate. I appreciate that. Cross my demon heart.
All right. Well, Dave, we've invested in our costumes. We got our drinks. Oh, we need to do our toast because it is a toast show.
It is a toast, yes.
So I have some tequila for myself today.
I have some barrel strength bourbon.
Woo! So to Halloween and to spooks and to setting
Happy
my
Samhain, everybody.
setting my skeptic stuff aside for a little while.
Here we go. Clink.
Cheers. Mmm.
Mm-mm.
And also to now understanding lipstick on glasses.
Yeah, there you go. I'm drinking a Caesar because it's the most blood-like
I see.
thing.
While you do that, I did actually want to issue a public service announcement for folks.
Oh, okay.
Just a bit of a hey, let's before we all get wrapped up in the season and we lose our minds and we start making mistakes and fallacies.
Mm-hmm.
The song Monster Mash
Yeah.
is not the Monster Mash. The song Monster Mash is a song about a dance called the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
So in the universe of the song, they're not hearing the song that we are hearing.
No,
They're hearing rather any other song, frankly, and they're doing a dance called the
true that.
Monster Mash.
It's
They're
like
doing the
the
mash.
Tenacious song tribute, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
And we don't even know what genre of music it is, but what we are hearing is not what they are hearing in the. And I hear so many people making this mistake, thinking that the
right.
monsters are dancing to the Monster Mash. And I just, before you go ahead and make that mistake and embarrass yourself,
Yeah.
just it's a good reminder.
That's who you think's embarrassed in this situation, huh?
That's correct. That's
Not the person being pedantic about the Monster Mash. It's the
no,
yeah.
no. It's important that we all realize it's a
That's
meta
good.
narrative about a dance.
Good job.
Thank you. So now that we've made our show very attractive to everyone, do we have a that was the trick, as it were, Dave? Do we
I
have a
see.
treat? Do we have a sponsor today who's helping us to
Paul.
yes?
Do we have a sponsor? Should we read these 2 super chats or a
Oh,
super
okay.
chat?
Well, I guess we maybe should do some super chats.
Just clear out old business before we get to new business.
All right. Well, we got. I don't think this is the. Nitty writes, I need to know how you got these scars. Did Ham or Hovind do it? Well, those are more emotional and psychological scars.
Emotional damage.
So what this is outward representation.
I see.
But yes, I think one side Ham, one side Hovind. That's... All right. What else we got here? We got here we go. Oh, we got Timothy Harmon. Wow, that's not going to cut it on its own. But Timothy, thank you for the contribution toward the lipstick reimbursement fund.
Yeah, getting the ball rolling. It's not
getting
fair
the ball rolling. We appreciate
Timothy to take the onus for all that on.
That's right. No, that would be unreasonable. Even
That would be
I'm
unreasonable.
guessing even our sponsor today couldn't possibly pony up enough.
Oh, you'd be amazed what our sponsor can do.
Okay. With our show is on the rise. So let's hear Dave. Who's our sponsor today?
Rejoice, Paul. For this humble vessel is tremendously excited to be able to spread the glorious news of a new sponsor. Indeed, there is no doubt in my mind that today's sponsor is in a position to instantly and permanently bring the watchers of this channel to a state of bliss they were not aware even existed. No matter your current lot in life, no matter what trials and hardships you have had unfairly thrust upon you by the so-called gods of this existence or the small-minded kings and tyrants who rule through violence and deceit, there still remains a path forward. You may have heard me babble about pathetic trinkets such as mugs and tables and soap. I was right about the pants, though. Pants are amazing. You perhaps heard my shameful endorsements of money or artificial intelligence, prattling on as if these abstract and meaningless concepts were anything less than the corrupted dreams of diseased minds. It brings me sorrow to remember how foolish I was, how short-sighted, how ignorant. Fortunately, my eyes were open to the truth, and now it is my great honor and undeserved privilege to be able to tell all of you about our new sponsor for this week, Disorganized Religion. Perhaps in the past you have heard some fools prattle on about organized religion, as if something that transcends our reality could be sorted, stacked, and understood by small minds bound in chains of time and space. While we at Disorganized Religion can agree with the more mainstream milquetoast faiths that there exist realms beyond that which we can quantify, only the truly foolish believe they can understand the will of beings who dwell in such spaces. These great and terrible forces not only shape our reality in accordance with their fleeting whims, they do so without a shred of consideration for what effect their actions will have upon us poor beings made of naught but dust and pain. To court their attention is to invite destruction and torment beyond the nightmares of the most hardened criminals. To beg them for favor is to enter into a fellowship with a being that sees you as little more than a speck of light to be consumed. Is there then no hope? No possibility of the great work being completed and ushering in an era of enlightened madness for all of humankind? Have no fear, children, for this vessel is here to tell the wayward souls currently watching this stream on YouTube or perhaps seeing me in their dreams that you too can belong to something great, something terrible and beautiful and eternal. Simply pledge yourselves to disorganized religion today. All you need is a willing spirit and a weak mind. Shapeless robes and ominous pendants will be provided to you free of charge to any who are willing to form a soul pact with the lost daughters of the Outer Dark. And that's not all they're offering, Paul. Anyone who takes advantage of this amazing offer before the current age of humans comes to an end can use the promo code Toast to Toast, that's TOST, the number 2, TOST, when dedicating their lives to a timeless horror to receive at absolutely no extra cost, Paul, this beautiful set of barbecue tools. These are stainless steel, Paul, high quality and completely free, gratis, yours for the taking. Just imagine how fun your grilling experience will be next summer when you use these fine tools to prepare steaks, burgers, and corn on the cob for the blind and uninitiated fools who will be feasting at your table. So don't walk, run to the next cathedral of the formless void and sign up with Disorganized Religion today. Being a servitor of the great old ones is a horrible and thankless task, but it's about 1 billion times better than being digested in the maw of he who dreams beyond time and space when he wakes from his timeless slumber to sacrifice all the unworthy to be eternally digested by the worm at the center of the world. Disorganized religion.
I think I can get behind that one. That sounds delightful.
Did you see those tools? They're nice. That's nice.
Delicious. I love it. Yes.
There we go.
Thank you, Disorganized Religion.
Thank you, Disorganized Religion,
for joining us for today's show.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, you be sure to use that code Toast to Toast, and yes, that's excellent. And
you'll be really kicking yourself. You miss out.
Yeah. Also, feel free to once you get those knives, if you that tool set, feel free to send yourself a picture of using them, in whatever manner that you see fit, be it in a ritual sacrifice or a lovely chef salad.
Yeah, maybe making like a pork loin.
Very good.
Oh, Paul, more super chats.
More super chats. We have the Ronin, who is making a very prescient super chat. You are now reading my super chat. This is true.
Not wrong.
This is correct. And we also have Luminous Getsui.
Yes, yeah. Dave the Demon Priest and Salesman. Yes, preaching the good work of Mother Chaos. Hail the Formless Void. Hail Formless Void.
Hail. Love it. Okay. Well, for those who don't know or need a reminder, this show, we celebrate the Art Bell run of the Coast to Coast AM show and all that entails. It was a radio show that was on late at night, was super duper popular, was on 6 days a week, 4 hours a night sometimes, and we like to celebrate that era of the show. And he had an annual tradition that we were going to let him explain, I think, at the up at the top.
Yes.
But
another super chat.
Oh, but we have another super chat. Excellent. Mark Rothenbuehler. We all hear the truth of your words, Dave. Cthulhu saves. In this case, he's hungry. He's hungry.
It's hungry. Yep.
Yay. And we have another super chat coming in. Thank you so much for your generous support of the show, everyone. Or maybe that was Mark. I
think it was Mark.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but we also, if you'll notice it up in the corner, we have over there, we have trivia night.
And a ghost.
What? I don't see a ghost. I just see the trivia
you don't
night.
have my, arcane sight.
We see the trivia night. All right. Let's so I think, should we start with a question before we jump into the art show, or should we do some art first?
I mean, I feel like we should probably get one out of the way, right?
All right. Well, as you know, as always, whenever we have trivia night, the
Yes.
winner of the trivia will
Yes.
receive a lovely tumbler and join the Tumbler Club.
Join the Tumblr Club. So the trivia will be multiple choice, as always. There will be a question and 4 answers. To join in the fun, all you have to do is type in the number of the answer. So if the answer is number 2, just type in a 2, hit enter, put in Paul's computational algorithm kicks will tabulate everybody's score, and at the end of the night there will be a winner, and somebody will be walking out of here with a wonderful free tumbler. The tiebreaker is time, so you do want to answer as fast as you can. There are 8 questions tonight, so lots of time. Good luck, everybody.
I should have
Not me. I
was unsure as to when to start the timer, but here we go. 9 seconds, 8 seconds.
It's all ghost related, by the way, tonight.
It's ghost related. Very good.
Ghost trivia.
Question 1.
The definitely real haunted hotel inspired the Overlook Hotel from The Shining. Features nocturnal ghost tours and has an in-house psychic for consultations. Is it the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, the Plaza Hotel in New York, the Drake Hotel in Illinois, or the Denali Backcountry Lodge in Alaska?
I believe it's pronounced Illinois.
Okay, sure. It's Chicago anyways. I just pissed off a lot of people. And Chicago, Illinois.
A lot to get your votes in. You can only vote once, so be sure to enter it the way you wish. All right. Tabulating.
Tabulating.
I didn't even vote. I guess it was probably I think it was one in Colorado. There you go.
Yeah. Most people
almost everyone got that one.
Almost everyone got that.
Very good
job,
everyone.
everybody. We're off to a good start.
Rockin' start. The other fun meta game will be to see if we make it to the end of the game. So we'll see how that goes.
Did you stop the timer? Are we good?
I'm stopping the timer, and now we are going back to the main view. We're going to have another super chat. Oh, I guess we should close this poll. So we didn't even look at the poll. Let's see how the.
We got 85 votes in.
With 85 votes in, David is ahead.
Am I ahead?
You are 53% say Dave.
I mean, that's basically a toss-up. I'm willing to call it a tie.
Statistical, but I feel like you really stepped up your game.
A tie that yeah.
So we're definitely compared to like were you a ghost last year? I forget how that went.
I was the ghost with the ghosted message from you. Remember, was the Facebook messages
that's right.
I wasn't replying to because I was ghosting you on the front of my ghost costume, but it was too hot to wear, so I had to keep taking it off, and I was stifling, and you couldn't really read the joke failed. It was an unmitigated disaster, Paul.
Well, you were definitely most improved this year.
Yes, there you go. We'll get my award for most improved. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's time for us to actually get to the purpose of the show.
I actually know where Seventh-day Adventist Church is. It's not a bad idea, Michael. Yes, let's get to the show. I want to hear some art.
Okay, so here we go. Art Bell, Ghost to Ghost.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ghost to Ghost. Yes, it's that time of year again. And tonight, we will do what we do every year at this time. Now, what we do is tell ghost stories. So the following recommendation is for you. Turn down the lights. Better yet, turn them off. Turn the radio up as high as you can handle it. And get ready.
Crank it
You're
up,
about
dude.
to hear some very, very weird stuff. Now, let me tell you how we handle it. Number one, we don't take jokes, although I'm about to make one. All we take on Ghost of Ghost is serious, real ghost stories. This morning, somebody sent me some
Why so serious?
thing that I thought was genuinely funny. This is probably going to be the only funny thing that we do this night, because we tell serious ghost stories on Ghost to Ghost AM. But I felt that I had to read this to you. A vampire bat came flapping in from the night, covered in fresh blood, parked himself on the ceiling of the cave, and prepared to get some sleep. Pretty soon, all the other bats smelled the blood and began hassling him about where he got it. He told them to piss off and go get some sleep, but they persisted until finally he gave in grudgingly. Okay, follow me, he said, and flew out of the cave with hundreds and hundreds of bats behind him. Down through the valley they went, across a river, into a forest of trees. Finally, he slowed down, and all the other bats excitedly milled around him. Now, he said, do you see that tree over there? He asked. Yes, the bats all screamed in a frenzy. Good, said the first bat, because I effing didn't. And I thought that was one of the funniest things. I wish I could tell it in true form, but, you can't use those words on the air, so I got as close as I could. You get the idea. Covered with fresh blood, his own, slammed right into that tree. Anyway, I couldn't resist.
Have you ever heard Art tell a joke before?
I never have. No, not that I can recall.
Wow. We didn't. We should have saved that. We could have wrapped that up at the end. Like a joke.
Instead of my only ways. This is what happens when you don't pre-listen to the.
But then he went on to explain the joke.
Yeah, then he completely killed it by explaining the joke. Yeah.
Well, you see, the bat ran into the tree himself. You see, and it was his own blood.
I had a history teacher in school that would always put up overhead. The overhead projectors you play clear plastic of cartoons, do like the Far Side or something like that.
Okay.
Before class.
Yep.
Great, good. But then she would go to length to explain the joke, completely, absolutely killing the joke, right? Like the bee detectives are wondering where the rocks come from, but you can see the boy in the hive who has thrown the rocks. And so they say it seems like the rocks are coming from inside the hive when there is a large human child inside just behind, and somehow they have missed, and that's the joke. Like, oh my God. Yeah. You managed to take one of my favorite things and completely suck all joy out of it for me.
We have on the Bella Cam, apparently we got people walking around out there. Who knows what's going to be happening?
Oh, well.
Yep. Guarding us from the dragons. Okay. Thank you, Art, for the initial joke.
But Ghost to Ghost.
Right, so what we do tonight, again, is tell real ghost stories. And I know a lot of you out there have real ghost stories. All right, so we're going to tell ghost stories tonight, real ones. So there are all kinds of categories of ghost stories that I can imagine one might tell. But one thing's for sure, if you listen carefully, if you listen to the people who are going to tell these stories for the most part, you'll find they are very serious, and you will find it is indeed a very frightening process. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi there, how you doing?
Okay, where are you, sir?
I'm in lovely Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, California, KSCO.
Right close to the ocean. I'm glad you're on KSCO now.
So are we, yes. You have a ghost story for us.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I've had a couple of strange experiences, but I'll just list the one that sticks in my mind the most. I have to preface this by saying it happened when I was around 7 or 8, so it may have been colored by the previous years of my life.
Debate?
But who knows? Anyway, it goes like this. I grew up with, my mother was a medium and my father was a musician. Strange life. We were on the road a lot, and
you bet.
Never stayed.
Okay, mother was a medium. Father was a magician. Yeah, that was.
And I just took like a ton of peyote.
This is
in any place longer than a couple of, 2 or 3 months at a time.
I know the life, yeah.
Well, and
that's what I was thinking. They may not have. I was gonna make a joke about no fixed address, but apparently he let us know himself. They,
we just moved into a place in Minneapolis, and it was a new apartment, and we were all sort of camped out for. It was a big sort of studio apartment with the kitchen offset and a bathroom and a large sort of bedroom, living quarters, whatever.
Really?
And there was my mother and I and my father all sleep on the floor, laid on blankets and things. And I just started to nod off, and she woke me up, and she said, "Honey, look in the kitchen." And I woke up, and I didn't sit up or anything. I just sort of opened my eyes and sort of peered through the blankets, and there was a party of probably somewhere between 15 and 20 people in cocktail outfits. And I don't remember enough to remember the period or whatever, but they were well dressed. I remember women had jewelry on, men were wearing.
Wait. This is in your private place?
This is in our kitchen.
In your kitchen, you walked in and there's 15 to 20 people?
I didn't walk in. I was laying on the floor.
Yeah?
And my mother woke me up. I was lying next to her, and she woke me up and she said,
Yes?
"Look what's happening." So I sat and watched for a while, and I watched a man who I will never forget how he looked. He was wearing a dark suit, he had brown, very neat hair, and he was talking to a woman, and he had a drink in his hand. She had a drink in her hand. And I watched him for a while, and he saw me, and he saw my mother, and we were awake. My dad was laying next to my mother asleep, and I was laying next to her, and she said, "Be real quiet, don't." She whispered, and I said, "Okay." And he made a motion to the woman.
Oh, nothing.
you're just nodding along. So I was confused.
A real shining situation here. Speaking of,
right. So far, if it hadn't known it was the ghost to ghost night, he hasn't said anything about them being ghosts yet. At this point, the way he's describing the story, it could just be like people broke in and started a party. But okay.
Yeah, or there was like some dinner party happening, and he was a child. Yeah.
All right.
Came right over to me, leaned right over me, and my blankets were down sort of 6 inches from my chin or whatever, and he grabbed the blankets, tucked them around my shoulders, and my eyelids were like half open and getting weird chills now talking about this, and tucked them in and walked right back to the rest of the party. It happened for a few, less than couple of minutes maybe, and they sort of just stopped. And I remember asking my mom what happened. He said, "Well, I think that we just saw a cocktail party that happened here a while back."
Well, when you say they just stopped, I mean, we're talking about 15 or 20 people. You mean they just vaporized?
That's right, yeah. And it sounds really, really terrible and really cheesy, and I really hate to be a part of the whole cheesiness when it comes to this kind of paranormal stuff, but
it really happened.
It really happened, and also they were semi-transparent. In other words, you could see things through them. But
yeah, you need to open with that.
Yeah.
You need to let us know in advance that these are semi-transparent. Okay.
So all the best ghost stories start with Paul with "I was asleep and woke up." Right.
I was suddenly woken. Yeah.
Just to make it clear, this is definitely not a dream. Just
No.
I was sleeping and woke up, and there was all these people in my kitchen. So everything checks out.
Also, the apartment is so small that you have to sleep in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But also big enough that you can easily have it. That they were just having 20 people cocktail parties on the regular.
Do you remember that Mitch Hedberg bit about it's like, shopping for a house. This is a 3-bedroom house. I think it's up to me how many bedrooms there are in my house. This bedroom has an oven in it. This bedroom's where I park my car.
I do. I miss Mitch.
Rest in peace, Mitch Hedberg.
Maybe Mitch will be a ghost on one of our shows. That'd be great.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
They did seem to have a sort of three-dimensional quality.
And they were dressed in what manner? Do you recall? I mean, was it a period? Could you identify a period of dress?
I don't know now. I mean, now the way I remember it, yes, it was a period of 30s or 40s, but that could definitely be coloring in my part as far as the things that I've seen and learned.
Was there any attendant?
There's not a lot of apartments that were around having parties in the 30s. For him to,
I mean, not the ones you were going to.
What's that?
Not the ones you were going to.
No.
Stop or other phenomena that accompanied their coming and going.
Man, as far as their coming goes, I was woken up from my mom and she.
So you wouldn't know?
So I wouldn't know. As far as their going, no. They just sort of left and they just sort of drifted off.
That's a weird story. You've got to wonder if occasionally there's not a kind of a slip in the space-time continuum.
I very much believe that. I very much think that's what happened to him. And more than being scared, sort of.
So, it's not being explained. Art thinks that they become transparent if there's a time-space shift.
Well, because you're seeing through time.
I see. So yeah, that's true. Like this cocktail party, if it was a cocktail party that was happening 50 years earlier.
Yeah, maybe they're seeing New Year's Eve, in like 1927.
Right. But yeah, to imagine that they all died and then after their deaths, their souls reconvened in this apartment to recreate a cocktail party. That's a rather boring afterlife if what you do is like completely relive.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Well, I guess that's a state of what I think about my life, I guess.
All things considered, I'd take
Do you
that.
get to pick which parts you're reliving? Because like I would sure hate to, there's some classes I didn't enjoy. I went to many hours of sermons and Bible studies that I just as soon not sit through again.
Yeah, so like all things being equal, like here's like a cocktail party. At least there's drinks.
I suppose so. Yeah, actually, it's true. If your cocktail party would be
a
one of the
glass half
highlights.
empty Joker. There you go.
Around this world, I wonder if I didn't just sort of see back in time, or who knows. And the odd thing is, my mom's dead now. She died of cancer. But before she died, in my adult life, I brought this up several times. And I mean, shortly before she died, I brought it up to her. And everything is exactly as I described it as far as her memory and my memory goes. So there may be coloring there, certainly from my youth.
But your mom recalled it as you did.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a weird one, sir. That's a weird one. I really appreciate your call.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking that right show.
Thank you. There you are. I've heard of these things before. I don't know what it is that we're talking about here, but as I said, I think a kind of a slip.
Hopefully ghosts.
Hopefully ghosts. Yeah.
Kind of. It's like when you buy peanut butter and the side says may contain nuts, and you're like, I freaking hope so. Otherwise.
Occasionally occurs. Maybe a dimensional slip, maybe a space-time continuum little crack in the wall, in the dimensional wall, I don't know. But something comes across and it's there, or it's almost there, and then as quickly as it came, it's gone. Why is it so interesting? Because of what it tells us about what we may be living in, and that may be our own dimension, that it is occasionally broached or touched by another. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Martha
Hi, Martha. Where are you?
in Oak Cliff, and I listen to you on KLIF 570.
In Dallas?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very
I
good.
live in the section of Dallas County where KLIF started out,
All right.
the radio station. But my incident occurred in 1964 when they had that terrible earthquake in Alaska.
Oh, yes.
And
19 and 64. I love that phrasing. That's a good start. Should we have people rate these ghost stories? How was that first one? I don't feel was necessarily shaking my faith in naturalism necessarily.
That was a bad story in every aspect.
Right. It was not well told. It was not convincing.
Regardless of your beliefs about ghosts, that was just boring. It was
I mean, to Art's initial thing, he didn't want anyone to try and be funny.
Well, there you go.
He succeeded in not being funny. So
I'm hoping this is we're only going up from here. Where are we
only
gonna
up
go?
from here? We got Martha. She's in Dallas. It's 19 and 64.
19
a
and
6-year-old boy, I was living in a 3-room duplex this time trying to save up money to buy my first house. My 6-year-old boy slept in the living room, or the front room, where we had our 19-inch portable black and white TV.
Sure.
And we came in late that night.
That's a pretty big portable black and white TV. I think ours was like maybe 12 or 15. That was a late edition, and it weighed like, I don't know, 10 pounds.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah.
With the big old CRT tube. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was just a little CRT tube, but yes, it was deeper than it was.
Oh yeah. 19 is a decent sized TV.
Yep.
Did you have when I was a kid growing up, we had a big old Zenith TV that was like giant wood cabinet.
Right, like the cabinet built in.
Centerpiece furniture piece that this TV was built into.
Yeah, my grandparents did. We never had one of those, but oh no, actually, I think we did.
And I'll tell you something though.
We did.
You'd open up the back, and every piece of that TV was modular. to be popped out and replaced. Like it was designed like, no, this will be in your house forever. And if something breaks, you can just pop out that piece, hop on down to your local Sears and Roebuck, get a new one, come back, plug it in. Hey, you're good to go. This is it was the days when, it was, and it was designed to be easily repairable by the end owner. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that.
Right to repair. Nope.
Sunday night, and I told him, I said, don't you watch TV, you go in bed because we got to get up.
Standard instructions, yes.
Yeah, mean old mothers, because we had to get up so early, because I had to be at work at 7 o'clock and had to take them to daycare before I got there. But anyway, getting back to my ghost story, like I said, it scared the pants off of me, and I still have never been able to help anybody to explain to me what happened. But
it's a good episode to have Pants sponsoring, because there's going to be lots of references to pants.
Yeah, opportunity missed.
Mm-hmm.
The television came on, and I thought he was disobeying. I could see the flash of the TV, the brightness on the walls. I went in there and I told him, I said, you turn that TV off. I told you not to watch it. Mother, I didn't touch it. And I went over, turned the TV off. I go back to bed, and a few minutes, the light blinks again on the wall. So the TV's back on. And I was fixing to give him blinking. And I went in there, and the TV was back on.
No.
I unplugged that booger from the wall.
No,
and it was still playing.
Say what? You unplugged it?
There we go. Now where
there you go. Because the story was boring up until then. Art almost cut her off. Like, okay, so there's... I was also poo-pooing the story. Okay, now we got a non-plugged-in TV playing stuff. Boom.
All right.
That's something.
Now you got my attention.
From the wall.
Unplugged the wall, and the darn TV was still playing. Well, it scared me so cotton-picking bad that I give the TV away, and I guarantee you I found me another place to live the next week, and I moved. And I've yet to find anybody that can explain to me how that TV could be playing and it unplugging the wall.
That can't be.
Well, it sure did.
Can't be, and I would have done exactly as you had done. Was the TV controlled by a...
If you got a TV... that doesn't need to be plugged in, you don't give that away.
I mean, I feel like I do.
No, that's a electricity saver.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Poltergeist.
You can have it out with you in the woods. You could take it with you in the car. I feel like this is back in 1964, Dave.
Yeah. Frankly, the TV has a lot of good ideas for me. It keeps.
That's right. No one else had a TV you could just you have in the car. This is great.
Yeah.
Short-sighted. Now someone's laughing because they got a TV that didn't need
They got
power.
a TV. They got a TV that works without power. 1965.
All you have to put up with is some, moaning and chanting or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Some whispered suggestions of who you need to burn.
Perhaps it can't be turned off. I don't know.
Yeah.
remote
Just throw
control?
a blanket over whatever,
Sure, exactly. Or just point it toward the wall, or put it in the garage. It's fine.
Yeah.
In 1964, just plain old off and on knob.
Sure, I remember those old 19-inch black and
And
white.
whenever I unplugged it in the wall, that blind thing was still playing, and it scared me so bad, I just bundled up my kids and went to my mother's house in the middle of the night.
Good for you. That is one of the most rational decisions I've heard this night yet.
But someone told me that morning in Alaska that had that severe earthquake.
That is correct.
And
I mean,
they told
to be
me
fair,
that
if that legitimately happened, that is just like, well, time to go.
Yeah, maybe it's like, you know what? We can sleep at grandma's. That's sure. Yeah.
Out of this horror movie stuff or go hey, look, there's like a headless bride hanging from the rafters in the kitchen. All of a sudden, it's like, yep, I'm gone. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to call the police from the gas station, and I've got everything in the house, and that's the end. We're done. Thank you, goodbye.
All right. Well, I like that because that's actually, that's one of the things you could actually semi-empirically test this. Like, this is not like some of those others. Because if you're wandering around and you got a TV that's not plugged into anything in 1964, there'd be like,
Paul,
this is evidence that something weird is happening.
Yeah.
Trivia time. Trivia time. Okay. Oh, so the question because I didn't really pause it. Right? We got to read the question.
Okay.
And then I'll hit unpause.
Okay. The definitely real ghost of this English queen is said to have haunted the Queen's house in Greenwich since her execution in 1536. Is it Mary, Queen of Scots, Elizabeth I, Boudica, or Anne Boleyn?
Bum bum. Let's see.
Oh, Vishanti's putting in multiple answers.
Uh-oh.
Algorithm's not going to like that.
Nope. Well, if you put in all 4 numbers, I'm sure you win. I'm sure that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I even put in a British royalty question for Shannon specifically. I don't even.
Very good.
Oh, she's there.
All right, who's it going to be? Is it Mary, Queen of Scots? That's the one I wanted to answer. Because that seems scariest. Dun dun dun. It's not. It's
A lot of people
Anne
agree
Boleyn.
with you, but it was in fact Anne Boleyn.
Lots of people. Yeah, lots of people got psyched out on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But well done, everyone who got it correct. These
I won't say anything more about it, Vishanti. You'd be as high as
Speaking of Scots,
Mm-hmm.
they so in one of the major trades today announced that it is paused.
Okay.
Yeah, but good call. That's a reasonable request of me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the major Hollywood trades today
Yes.
announced that the Highlander remake
Yeah.
is being actually was being pitched to the exhibitors at this point. So it's definitely on the slate and it's supposed to be starting filming next year, pending on when the strike starts. So and with the writer and director of John Wick, and we got our very non-Scottish boy. We got our Henry Cavill.
I mean, that's keeping with tradition. Now, if you could get who's the Scottish actor these days? Ewan McGregor.
Could have got that's right, Ewan McGregor, or
somebody to play the non-Scottish tutor to come in.
Well, this is the joke, right? It's like, because they had why am I blanking on his name? Sean Connery playing the Spanish Egyptian.
Yes. Yeah. The Spanish Egyptian.
And then they got the French actor to play the Scottish guy. So yeah, it's all good.
In quotation marks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then we need to. So for our other show, we can talk about who should be cast as the Kurgan and who could be cast as Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
All these things. But
David Tennant would be an excellent choice for Ramirez. You need someone with a good Scottish accent to play
right
Spanish Egyptian. Yeah, I mean, no, he wouldn't actually be a good
no.
Ramirez, but
That's the trouble. Is like Lambert was not that physically imposing.
No,
and the Kurgan, so it was easy to cast Clancy Brown as
I mean, you could actually. Clancy Brown still looks pretty imposing.
He does.
It has the voice and everything. I feel like he could still play the Kurgan.
Except what they did with him in Ahsoka for a half an episode, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if he'd be able to do like the actual sword fighting scene, especially big. And
all right,
lots of good young actors. Give it to somebody.
Absolutely. Yep.
He's still making that SpongeBob money. He doesn't need.
Timothy Harmon with the super chat. Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you, Timothy.
I should have known that one from the old Stanley Holloway song. With her head tucked underneath her arm. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't know that song either. But it's
I'm sorry, Timothy. We don't catch the reference.
Well, it's a song I'm guessing about Anne Boleyn.
Oh,
he's talking about the last trivia. I should have gotten that one from the old Stanley Holloway song.
I see. We have another super chat for $10. Thank you so much, TC. Very generous of you.
Thank you.
I went over to a friend's house in the middle of the night once, after a glass ornament fell off the shelf 3 times. Don't believe in ghosts, but creepy is creepy.
Creepy is creepy.
I'm
I saw I think it was a TikTok, might have been Instagram or whatever. I saw. So it was one of those things, and it's the like caption. It goes, my 10-year-old daughter is hosting her first sleepover and telling ghost stories upstairs.
yes, I saw
And he's
that
at
one.
the electrical panel, and he flicks off the light, and you just hear through the floor like faintly all these screams. There's like just
No. It was
on and off, and just these little high pitched screams coming.
It was my 12-year-old daughter brought home her first Ouija board. Was the caption something like that?
Yeah.
The dad's flipping the breaker on.
Breaker on the thing, and the kids you can hear them screaming upstairs.
Yeah, good dad.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh my, we have a dinosaur flood. All right.
Dinosaur floods.
Okay, let's we got someone's Dr. Tapioca Weasel is gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much.
There we go. Now
that's
it's
why
raining.
that's why we got all these various things popping up on the screen. So,
No, that's just Vishanti. Who you may not know this, Paul, but is quite high. So so we're getting a lot of dinosaurs. So we're
maybe Dapper joined the chat. We'll see. Meanwhile, Bella is.
There you go. Dapper Dinosaur did join the chat.
Bella is.
Yes, we need to restart the trivia clock.
On watch. Oh, trivia clock. Thank you. Also, Dapper. I think I have a. What is the trivia clock? There we go. Dapper, I may have a project for you. Message me sometime when I'm more coherent.
Is it to throw shade at me in my bi-monthly Twitter posts? Because that's what Dapper does.
I see. Well, no, he's doing that on his own. He doesn't need my help for that.
Doesn't need your. It's easy to do.
All right, next ghost call. Here we go.
Next ghost call.
Possible they had something other about the electrons or something other. I don't understand electricity or radios or TVs. I just know they weren't. That scared me so.
What's that?
But first, we got to finish this one.
Yes, I guess I thought maybe we were done this one, but nope. She doesn't understand the radio signals, but she knew the TV shouldn't work when it's not plugged in.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Not wrong.
Bad. I got the heck out of that apartment and I gave that TV away.
Well, I would be disinclined to think it had anything to do with the earthquake, and I would be very much inclined to think you did the right thing.
Could it be a ghost or a booger? How in the world can a TV still play and it unplugged in the wall?
It cannot, dear. It cannot, period. I appreciate your call, and you did the right thing. I am absolutely astounded at how many people will have something like that happen.
But I reckon a TV ain't supposed to be on when it's unplugged like that.
But also, it's interesting. Yeah, so Art is not really, even though he's enjoying these calls. The first one, the dinner party, he was made. Well, that doesn't sound like ghosts. That was more like a shift in a time shift, a ripple in space time. And then this one, he's like, I don't know, ghosts don't power TVs, so that wasn't a ghost. All right.
Well, there you go, Art.
Yep.
To them, or something even more severe, as we've heard already this morning. And they don't do what I do, and I tell you, I would turn tail and I'd run. I'd be out of there so fast, and there was a rational lady. Oh yeah, I bet sure. If I had a TV and it would continually come on, I would imagine first an electronic glitch, and then I would do as that lady did, and I'd unplug it from the wall, and if it still came on, I'd be out of there. West of the Rockies.
So you and Art are on the same page on this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm just excited about free power TV.
Yeah, well, that's your cold capitalist heart.
It's true.
Yeah.
You are on the air. Good morning.
Hello, Art.
Hi.
I called you last week when you had Patsy on,
Oh, yes.
and I asked her to help me make a deal with the devil. You remember me?
I remember you, yes. I remember thinking at the time, this guy has lost his mind. Why would you want to make a deal anyway?
I don't know. Desperate times call for desperate measures, maybe. Anyway, 2 days later, I was indeed visited
Sign
by
up with
President.
Disorganized Religion, friend. We're
That's
glad
right.
to take you in.
We have a promo code, Toast to Toast. Get yourself some free knives.
Barbecue tools. I mean,
That's right.
The Devil's got cheap plastic ones. I've seen them.
That's right.
The great old ones. They got the real deal.
You're talking about after you called the program when Patsy was on.
Right.
Marlon. By the way, we're going to repeat that program Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Well, that's why I don't exactly tell who I am, because I don't want anybody to know who I am.
Oh, that's one of the strangest, scariest programs we ever had on the air, period. But you're telling me, following that program, you had what?
I was in my room that Saturday night after your show,
Yes.
your repeat show,
Yes.
and I was laying there in the dark, and I had turned off the radio, and I was getting ready to go to sleep. And as I was laying there, I began to feel cold, very cold.
Yes.
And then I heard a voice, and it asked me if I was sincere about what I had asked for.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, I for some reason, not, asking for something like that. You should be prepared for just about anything, but I wasn't, and it scared me. I mean, it really freaked me out.
So to be fair, so it sounds like the night before he's specifically trying to make a deal with the devil. Does that sound like what? All right.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, and so what did you say?
I said no. I was so scared. I said no.
Congratulations. Good decision on your part.
So I turned the lights on and sat up all night long.
Uh-huh. Good decision on your part, sir. Congratulations. And have a nice life. That man, you may or may not have heard it. We did.
Have a nice life. Again, yes, Dapper, very excellent point. So these ones that are immediately like, hey, I was sleeping and this weird thing happened, and then they woke up and it went away.
Yeah.
So I should probably call into a show and tell people about that. That makes sense.
Yep. And see, that's exact. Timothy Harmon, plastic barbecue tools in hell. Not going to work. Can't trust them.
No, it won't be plastic ones. It'll be
Already
those ones made of corn.
I'm now concerned so to try to get this like shiny blood look in my beard,
Uh-huh.
I was using just like fake blood, but you couldn't really see it.
Okay.
Someone's like, you need to thicken it. Try honey. So I mixed fake blood and honey, and it did work, and it looks good.
It looks
but
great.
now I have a lot of honey in my beard, and I'm like, I feel like this might.
That's a problem for tomorrow, Dave.
That's exactly it. That son of a bitch never bought me a drink.
That's right. Quasi-related, did you see the fall of House Usher?
I have not yet. I have not had a chance. I've had no time this week.
If you have a chance before Halloween, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love Mike Flanagan. Pretty much everything he's ever made, I've enjoyed.
And the fun part about that one is it has Mark Hamill and the guy who played Elliot in E.T.
Okay.
And it's very surreal to see those guys as, 50-year-old dudes
Yeah.
interacting. But it's literally like, hey, Luke Skywalker and Elliot are on the screen.
Or just hanging out.
Anyway, those who've seen the show will know what these last couple of calls have prompted that to my mind. But anyway, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Oh, Dapper Dinosaur has some good advice for me how to get honey out of my beard, because apparently Dapper has experience with washing honey off. Hey, I'll take good advice from anywhere.
So hot water, I think you would have tried that. That feels like on the...
There's no reason to. I'll take any good advice.
Okay, fair enough. What I think you should do is barbecue sauce. You know what gets honey?
I need some buttered toast. Just...
croutons, Dave. You want to crumble up a lot of croutons in there.
All you gotta do is rub some peanut butter in there.
That's right. It's just like a skunk with dogs. It's tomato soup. It's tomato juice, and all good.
Peanut butter, little clips.
Very helpful. See, that's all we need is we just call on our chat. They've got the helpful tips.
What do you think? That's not about. What do you think of that idea for the Kurgan, Paul? Gal Gadot. I don't know Gal Gadot. I like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to find like some kind of female bodybuilder, or what's her name, who played from Game of Thrones. Yeah, he's like 7 feet tall. Somebody more physically imposing than Gal Gadot. I have nothing but respect for, but like somebody like, no, this person looks like they're a friggin', Visigoth or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie. Yes, thank you, Vishanti. That's
The
who it is.
Kurgan, you need to believe that the Kurgan wants to burn the world down.
Yeah, and his like, no, this is a person who was like pillaging in 800.
Oh, and that's true. You need to go across time and be like this was an imposing figure in the 1300s as well as today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping they will do, and there was hints of this, that they will not burn the whole storyline in one episode. That they will not go straight to the prize.
they go straight to the prize that they're, and then retroactively go back and be like, oh
Right.
wait, we can make
Right.
more movies, but we've already finished the whole story.
Right. So I'm actually like I would Gal Gadot might make a great like I'm hoping there's lots of immortals, right? Like it's more if it's the John Wick director that we may
Yes.
have.
Yeah, Gal Gadot absolutely, I think, could pull an immortal.
Yeah. But
I mean,
also, yeah, this is
kind of
this
take a
is
cue from the TV series more than the movies. Did you watch the TV series at all?
some of it, and
was not
that
bad.
actually was one of the things that they had said at one point was that they were planning to take some cues from the TV show. So
Was it the third or fourth movie? There was a movie that did too that essentially like acted as kind of
yeah,
a sequel.
it was actually the fourth or fifth movie where both Duncan
They
and
kind of
Connor.
tried to bring all of the continuities together, but it was not bad. It worked out.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not getting
All right.
way off.
We're way off now. We go back to ghosts. You know what?
For on Sci-Fi Con.
Or should we should we just jump straight to trivia?
I mean, whatever. Everybody likes trivia.
Since we're on a pause
You know
here.
what, Paul?
What's
Paul,
that?
it's Halloween. You're the Joker. I'm a demon priest. If there's ever a night we're not, yeah. I should have. I mean, I brought it on. That's yeah. But there's never a night to just ignore the rules.
That's right. It's Chaos Monkey time.
Chaos Monkey time.
So
We got the Joker and a demon go into a bar and have a trivia contest. End of joke.
All right. So we got 9 seconds. I'm mostly covered by a ghost.
By popular demand.
And good taste. Yeah.
Which of the following definitely real ghosts do not haunt Edinburgh Castle? Which of these ghosts is not a ghost that haunts Edinburgh Castle? A young boy who can be heard crying on moonless nights. A ghost who smells of manure and tries to push people off the walls. A ghost dog who haunts the cemetery. And a bagpipe player who was sealed in a tunnel beneath the castle.
Ooh, man. Do you want bagpipes or manure? Which do you want to be haunted by? Oh, that's a tough choice.
One of those is not supposedly a real ghost in Edinburgh Castle.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with number one. The other ones are just too fun. So number one is least interesting, but it's probably the dog.
Paul,
Yes, Dave.
you have chosen wisely.
Oh, wow. Wow, I would have been correct. Neat. The other answers are too cool.
That's kind of, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good job, everybody.
It's tangentially related to the two doors. Shannon, I feel like you should have gotten that one. It's really not. It's really not.
Okay.
All right.
More ghosts.
Is it time for a new
show
ghost story?
with a self-described witch. I would think closer to a devil worshipper would be appropriate in the case of Harlot or Patsy, as you will. And this man called during the show and said something that I would never say, and most people would never say. He wanted her to help him make a deal with Satan. He wants, I don't know, better job, more money, success, romance, whatever. And he was in a situation in his life where
That's right.
Yeah.
If the chicken sandwich was the perfect chicken sandwich, but also endless, if it would be an endless perfect chicken sandwich.
I feel like popular fiction in general grossly overestimates the price that people were willing to sell their soul for.
That's right.
Right? It would be like $200. Yeah.
There was that episode of The Simpsons where Bart traded it for like some comics.
Yeah. That's the someone
Mhm.
was asking about my pendant. I have no idea. It was it's just a thing I had. You can't really see it. It's a deer skull. Which I possibly got from some kind of hunting thing. I'm not a hunter, but there's a bunch of my family.
Ooh.
Or costume jewelry. Not going to say I've not been to like a LARP camp before, but I've been to a LARP camp. So I have a whole bunch of just sort of random costume kits.
Well, Renaissance Fair next year.
I've never been to a Renaissance fair. Have you?
No.
I would love to go. We don't really have them in Canada.
The closest I've been is to one of those lousy jousting, dinners where you eat the chicken and
I did the one in
medieval.
Vegas.
Yeah,
at,
that's the one. I think Medieval Times
yeah.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and that was fun. I mean,
Yeah. The
but it's
chicken
like
was
it's a Vegas
good.
show. It's not the same kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
He was willing to make a deal and requested it. So I'm not surprised that he had a visitation. I do
That's
congratulate
an excellent point. Rex Fellis. LXIX 56, 59, I don't know, whatever my Roman numerals about. There's no way how are they going to match or exceed, Paul, the Queen soundtrack?
So that's a really good question. So that's the
Because
question.
the
Is,
soundtrack to Highlander is fucking amazing.
so I feel like what you do is you use some of the songs, but
You could probably use like the actual theme, like here we are.
right. So I feel like you have them orchestrated or like you do something else, or you legitimately just straight up use a couple of the Queen renditions of the songs, like that Princess of the Universe, beautiful.
Did you know, Paul,
Yes.
that I am an immortal? I have inside me blood of kings.
Fighting for survival. I forget how the rest of it goes.
What was it? I only know the first verse. I got in early. I got
Living
my
for
shot
the will
early.
to survive. Da-dum-ba-dum. And who will be the lucky wrestlers to appear in the opening scene?
That's good. Good idea, Scotty. Or just get Imagine Dragons.
Mm.
Speaking of terrifying things in ghost stories, Paul,
Yes, Dave.
you realize that any collection of 5 or 6 white guys you see on the street could be Imagine Dragons, and you would never know. Keeps you up at night, man. Keeps you up.
Woo.
him on his decision, an important moment. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
Nice.
Wait, so that was just the end of that call?
It was
He
a
called-
dumb call.
He called in to say, okay, so I thought about selling my soul to the devil. I had a dream about it, and then I decided not to. And that
Decided not
the
to.
end.
The end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Finally getting in touch with you.
Glad to hear from you. Where are you?
I'm in Boise, Idaho. This
All
is
right.
Don.
Yes, Don.
I just had an experience back in '89. I was living in Dallas, Texas, and I had a
Oh, for the record, I don't think we told everyone. This is from 1997.
Okay.
This,
yes.
this show.
This is Ghost to Ghost. Because I think last year we did 96, right? I
Yep.
think. I'm pretty sure.
Now,
Like
the interesting thing I learned is in 1997, they actually did 2 shows.
2 Ghost to Go shows.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Because he did one on the 30th and one on the 31st.
Oh, because it was a leap year.
Oh,
In 97.
it wasn't, but okay. Yes, and also irrelevant. But I adore you, Dave. That's great. All right.
You know what? A little trick. If you just say shit like that, like as if you're calm and be like, oh, because there's a leap year, people will be like, yeah. And then be like, wait a minute.
Yep. And then the question is, 30 seconds later, where people go, do they want to rewind the conversation, or are we just moving
But
on?
it's too late because now I've already plowed on to something else. Little oratory trick for everybody out there. If you want to just, be a dick.
So Fern Love Bond used one of their member chats. Survive in a world with the darkest powers. Hey!
Hey! I
Is that
assume
from the
is
song?
it's more
That's not
Highlander
from the
lyrics.
song, is
We got
it?
a whole kinds of Highlander lyrics happening.
Yeah.
Only friend that, we talked for hours on end. And one night she called me up and she was just real nervous as, anything. And I asked her what was wrong, and she said that a couple days before a friend of hers had passed away, and her dad on that same day that the person passed away gave her a CD player. Well, 2 days later he gave her a CD with the song Think of Me and I'll Be There on it.
Yes.
And this night she called me. She was crying because that song had been playing over and over and over for hours. And, there were other songs on the CD, but for some reason it would just get back to that song.
Uh-huh.
And her dad, and I got verification from him, her and him pulled the plug on the CD.
Now, Paul,
Yes, Dave.
I don't enjoy playing the skeptic in this show. I try to
Right.
leave that role to you.
Mm-hmm.
Having a CD player and a CD in '97 was actually kind of cool and a big deal. I mean, there's CD definitely were. I guess that's not true. CDs were definitely.
No, I
right.
got my first CD player in like '87.
Yeah, you're right. I was gotten mixed up in my years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, is it not possible the CD was just set on like song repeat?
Yes, song
like,
repeat is literally a thing.
That's a thing you could do with any CD player.
That's correct.
Just be like, yeah, just
And you
keep
can
playing the song
accidentally
over
bump
and
song
over.
repeat.
Yeah. So you could like sit in the shower eating ice cream and
That's right.
play that Sinead O'Connor Nothing Compares to You over and over again for reasons that we don't need to get into on this stream. God damn it, Michelle. You broke my heart. Anyways.
Yeah. There seems like there might be explanations for the song that my dad, it wasn't even like it was playing on the radio. It's like, yeah, I put in the CD that my dad made me, and who knew that the song was going to keep playing
Over and over again. Well, maybe the story, you know what? Maybe we're being unfair, Paul. Maybe we're we're jumping the gun and we're going to look like fools when this awesome story.
Well, I feel like what they were about to say when I paused it was they also unplugged the CD and it
I
kept
was about to
going.
say, they're probably going to unplug the CD player and it's going to keep going.
Yeah. So
Which is less
apparently
impressive
ghosts
because battery-powered
now,
CD players absolutely existed.
ghosts are a power source of sorts.
Yeah. Just because Art says no, Art doesn't know shit about shit. He doesn't know anything about ghosts.
We have hurricanes. In my lovely province of Nova Scotia. I could use a ghost that I can plug stuff into. Like, can I get a ghost that keeps the fridge running while the power's out? That'd be
ghosts
awesome.
aren't that useful.
Seems
like
like
the
they
government.
could be. I want a haunted fridge. I'm going to go to the store. I would like a haunted fridge that when I unplug it, it keeps running.
Did you get a generator yet?
Not yet, but I actually was looking at them today. So yeah.
There we go.
Thank you, the Ronin, for your empathetic super chat. We appreciate you because we all have Michelle in our lives.
We've all got a Michelle in our past, right? Hey, then Fern Love Bond. I should wait for the facts to come up, but it also is, yep.
So related.
Nothing compares. Nothing. I can't do it. Paul and I are both
Compares to you. So I also enjoy that there's a single repeat. I didn't know there was a single repeat emoji that you could do.
Ooh. And there it is. Single repeat emoji. Single repeat button. Well, hot damn. Fern, you learned Paul something new today, and definitely me.
Thank you, Fern. Appreciate you.
Oh, Jesus.
Player and that song.
I'm trying to think of. It's like watching a Nicolas Cage. What's it, Con Air, where his like Southern accent kind of comes and goes scene by scene. He's got like a super thick Alabama accent, and then it's just gone. Next scene, go. It's all Joker performance. Yeah.
Kept on playing,
Even with the plug out of the wall.
even with it out of the wall.
Sounds like
I got to point out, while your costume is amazing and I love it, you very much have a Heath Ledger Joker costume, but you're very clearly channeling a Mark Hamill.
Well, that's because I looked at it and it's like, well, I look like Mark Hamill.
That's just okay. What's fair? That's fair.
And so that's
thought
what
maybe
inspired. That's what made me just before airtime. I'm like, man, I look like Mark Hamill as much as I ever have, and that made me think of his lovely Joker.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Could be worse. And I feel like this is more of a Jack Nicholson like wardrobe. So
I noticed. I can't remember what video. Somebody in one of the comments to one of our videos said, "I love Paul, and that big body David Cross lookalike is really growing on me." I'm like, okay.
Okay.
That's actually awesome because I love Dave Cross, and it's actually not wrong. I do, especially now that he has a big beard. But I mean, it seemed a little mean. Hello, Stephanie Helms.
TV.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what reminded me about that. And, they tried prying open the CD player to get the CD out and everything, and they couldn't even get it open to do that. And so it was a real strange experience.
yes, if you unplug the CD player, it will not open. Well, I don't know about you, Dave. I have had CD players where you couldn't get it open because it jostles slightly, and then the mechanism, the drawer mechanism, won't open.
Mm-hmm. See, now it's hard to if they unplug the CD player and they can't get it open, and it still keeps playing that song over and over again. Well, that's creepy.
That's creepy. That's right, because that means it's getting partial power or something.
Yeah. If it's just I'm trying to open this and I can't, it's like, well, that's
right.
That's just the jam CD drawer, and that's something that everybody who lived through the 90s experienced, and that's not in any way creepy or interesting.
Don't understand technology. Ghosts.
Yeah. The bank shortchanged me 5 cents. Y2K. Remember those when you were going through the one and everybody had their Y2K stories, and it was the
Yep.
bill was $5 higher than I thought it was gonna be. Y2K.
Oh, good times.
And her and I talked for all 4 or 5 hours that night, and during the whole time you could hear that song over and over and over again.
These things just are not possible in the real world. I mean, there is one area that I know about. It's
repeating songs. That's unheard of.
That's Clearly, they haven't seen the the emoji.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can just repeat. I'm just gonna, Paul. I choose to believe that he unplugged the CD player, took out the batteries, and it kept playing the song on repeat.
Right.
And they couldn't get the CD out because that's.
But it wouldn't eject.
It wouldn't eject, and it just keeps playing, the song that this deceased person told him to think of. Because that's a lot cooler story than what this person's actually saying.
I got to think. Suddenly I was flashing back to like 1997 IT support type stuff, where there would have been a lot of like, I put gum in my CD-ROM drive, or
the real thing, as somebody who did in fact work in IT support at that time, people thought it was a drink tray.
Yeah.
More than once, people would come out and be like, "Oh, I keep putting my mug holder, my drink tray broke in my thing." And it's like, I'm sorry, you what? Yeah. Yep. Sure enough.
with plugs pulled from the wall and CD players without power don't play.
Well, common sense would tell you that. I mean, but I don't know how to explain it. All I do know is that,
Well, I know, but if you listen to that lady, I mean, people are inclined to attach whatever explanation, their mind is willing to accept. For example, the lady said, well, there was an earthquake in Alaska. Well, earthquakes don't cause TVs to go on with the plug out of the wall.
Right. I just couldn't explain it, and it,
He's talking sense, Dave.
Yeah. Paul.
Yes.
Earthquakes do not cause electronic devices to function without power.
Let's be clear. Some earthquakes do, but not earthquakes in Alaska.
Okay. The evidence is inconclusive. We can all agree on that.
We can all agree that more study is warranted.
More study is warranted. And you'll see my grant proposal is quite reasonable. Good night, everybody. I could be an academia.
That's right. Academia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The strange.
My goddamn beard keeps sticking to my
Oh no.
on account of how it's full of freaking honey. Oh my goodness, brain cramp has a member comment.
Uh-oh. While I'm looking for that, where did it go? Was it a
I didn't
while?
see, I didn't see, well, I'll just read it because I can
Read
see
it.
it.
Oh wait, I
Brain
found it.
I had a 3 Dog Night CD stuck in my car player because a friend insisted that I had to hear Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog again.
Ba-dum-bum.
Very good friend of mine.
Ba-dum-bum.
Never understood a single word he said, but I like to drink his wine.
Joy to the world.
Oh, thank you, Mark. There we go. How many drinks does it take for Paul and I to start singing? Surprisingly few. Surprisingly few. I'm surprised we've never gone to karaoke. I feel like you and I would have a really good time at karaoke. We both like singing. We both have.
You mean that you and I have not done it together? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because you've karaoke'd.
I've karaoke'd.
And I've karaoke'd, but not
Yeah.
at the same time or place.
No, we've never karaoke'd together.
My Joker impression is awful, but also I'm doing the Mark Hamill version.
Your Joker impression is amazing, and I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. Fight them with violence.
I feel like it's not bad for the early seasons of the animated.
It's fine.
He got a little more mainstream on the.
Speaking of Jonathan Frakes, did you see they're remaking Gargoyles?
Yeah, live action.
Live action. Oh my, it's.
Yeah, all bad.
Bad idea.
And that other lady talking about that, with her TV, it just reminded me of what happened down there. And, I'm still to this day trying to explain how or what would cause that,
Did you two have a big emotional attachment to each other?
Well, we were real close, but to be quite honest with you, I had never met her in person. We just knew each other from a chat line.
Oh, I understand. But you can form emotional attachments in all sorts of ways.
Well, it got to the point she could finish my conversations and I could finish hers too.
Well, there you are.
And just to,
you can finish each other's
sandwiches.
There you go. See, Paul lives thousands of kilometers away from me.
That's right.
Finish each other's
sandwiches. Yeah, being able to predict what someone's going to text you, that's not quite the same.
Text. Oh,
no, I guess back then it wasn't texting. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, I assume this when this guy says chat line, he means phone sex line. I'm just going to go ahead and predict. Yeah. He's talking about a 900 number.
All right. Well, fair enough. It's trivia time, Dave.
Oh, my goodness. Trivia time.
So let me hit the resume.
Let's hit the resume. Hopefully Vishanti hasn't passed out.
Resume.
A lot of our questions today have to do with definitely real ghosts.
Definitely real ghosts.
Definitely real.
I'm not as up on my ghost lore as I should be.
Well, if you'd known, that's why I didn't give you the heads up. I didn't want you to have a chance
to brush up on it.
All right. The oldest known record of definitely real ghosts is a 3,500-year-old Babylonian guide containing detailed instructions to exorcise pesky ghosts from your home using what? Water from the Euphrates River, 3 bronze coins, and some kind of drum.
Mm-hmm.
Clay figures of a man and a woman, 2 glasses of beer, and a god Shamash. A goat that would be cooked and eaten as a sort of farewell party for the ghost, or a brazier burning blessed herbs, and a span of rope to symbolically bind them.
Wow. Well, these are all things that would have existed roughly 3,500 years ago.
Yeah, so now we're getting harder. Somebody was throwing shade because they're like, oh, this trivia is too easy. Yeah, we'll see how easy it is now.
That's right.
We're going ancient Babylon on you.
I like goats. I'm going with the goats. I'm going with C.
Going with goats. We all know about you and goats, Paul.
I like to boil them in their mother's milk.
I feel like if you knew me, and you do, you should have known what the correct answer was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with 2 glasses of beer in it, Paul. The one with 2 glasses of beer. All right.
Well, then this is actually quite a competitive evening for the trivia. I feel like
It's anybody's game.
Anyone's game. We have how many questions in total? I believe there was 8.
8. Yeah.
We will reset that trivia clock. We will pause the game. And we'll
Just
head
so
back.
everybody knows, I asked Paul, hey, do you want 8 or 10 questions for trivia? And he said only 8 because I don't enjoy my channel having fun. His words, not mine.
I'm just noticing now
Yeah.
that your hands are red.
Yeah. Oh, and my fingernails are black.
That is
you got the yeah.
That is delightful.
I went all out. I went all out tonight, buddy.
I feel like I should have had. Joker has gloves. Probably. I probably should have had gloves.
Yeah. Usually he was wearing either purple or yellow gloves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So hearing the lady on the
Not too late.
It's not too late. You got. Well, actually, it probably is too late, honestly, to get those.
That's right.
It's not something you're going to be able to pick up at.
No, and I also have to.
Walmart.
I have to. I produce the show. I touch all these various buttons. There's a lot of button touching over on the side.
I meant for whatever costume parties or things. You have.
Yes, true.
You got
well, there
actual Halloween's not for a couple of days.
there
yet.
probably is time. Yeah, to. Especially if I'm
I don't
willing to
know
wear,
if Will is there, but yeah.
TV deal, it just brought back memories of that other incident.
I understand. All right, my friend, thank you. Yes. Human emotions. People attached at the hip and the brain, that kind of thing, brings on all kinds of strange things. From the high desert, this is Ghost to Ghost AM. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art. I lived in California. Well, I live in California now. My name is George. And when I first moved into this apartment, it was a duplex. I had a young couple move in next door to me. At that time, I was 21. And I was kind of scared because the place, I didn't know the area or anything like that. And I went next door to meet some new neighbors. And while I was sitting on a couch, I heard things falling at my house. And I couldn't understand what was going on.
You were sure it was back at your house?
Yeah, because the duplex, our kitchens were on the wall.
I understand, yes.
And
all right, so you share a wall with your neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff was falling down from that wall.
Yeah.
What could explain it but ghosts, Dave?
I mean, there's other possible explanations, Paul, but it's Occam's razor. Right. If it was an earthquake, other people's stuff would also have fallen, so it's not an earthquake. If somebody was knocking it over, you'd see them. He doesn't own a cat, so ergo.
What if someone was, say, banging on the wall from the other side?
You'd hear them.
Did he say that he couldn't hear
Here's one of the
things?
key points about Ghost Paul, is they're very quiet.
I see.
Yeah, that's one of the ways you know that it's a ghost.
I feel like your neighbors may have been having the wall sex, and you just were, blocking that part out of it.
I don't want to hear about your weird sexual escapades. I'm telling you, this is a serious ghost conversation.
There's no jokes on Ghost to Ghost. No jokes whatsoever.
Have you
He
watched?
sounded like
We
that sounded
got
like
a
Rumpelstiltskin
super
of sorts.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say Pegajace.
Pegajace, yeah.
Yeah.
Aloe Vera
aloe
Fund
vera.
for Dave's sunburn.
Yeah, that is the my good Northern European Polish farm stock blood doesn't handle the sun very well.
I'm a little bit sad that are you heading out in the town when this is done? Are you gonna crash some bars?
I'm not.
You should.
Now I feel like I should. I'm like,
Yeah, you should get in a cab.
I'm absolutely. Yeah, I would have to be a cab to go. Maybe tomorrow night, because I still have all the stuff. So maybe tomorrow night I'll go out. And,
But then you'd have to redo it. But all right.
Well, but yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
Go impress the ladies. What was I? Shit. What were you talking about before? I was gonna say something. Shit. Damn it. I had a point and got distracted. What did you say just before? Do you remember the last thing you said, Paul? Before?
Well, I was talking about how there's no jokes because Not supposed to be funny. And then
Dang
we have
it.
the
I
don't know.
blew it.
Maybe it's back to the caller. Maybe the
Carry
caller will
on.
refresh your
Yep.
memory.
And so I got up, went back to my house, see what was going on, and things were just coming.
We were talking about the wall sex, maybe knocking stuff down.
Yeah, whatever.
No good.
We'll
All right.
move on.
Now the
People are
kitchen
giving me
cupboard
mileage.
Coming out of the cupboard.
Yes, I was literally coming out of the cupboard.
You could physically see them coming out of the cupboard.
Yes, and she came over to see what was going on,
Uh-huh.
and it stopped at my place. It literally stopped. And when I stood there and started picking the things up and putting them back out, she came over and was helping me, and it started at her house. Wow. And it was getting to us, so for quite
I'm confused what's happening in this story. Was her neighbor helping, or was there a ghost coming out of the cupboard helping?
I'm choosing to interpret it as there was a ghost coming out of the cupboard. Help.
Okay.
a while, we spent our days during the daytime together because it didn't really that scary. And one night while I was sleeping, I got shook wide awake and was told, get up now and come over here. And I couldn't understand what was going on. I knew I was the only one in the house, and I thought, this is crazy. And I turned the light on, and I looked at the wall, and there was a man standing there. And I thought, who are you? And he said, come here. And I walked over to him, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. Well, it was kind of weird to me because I felt literally scared.
If there's a man standing near,
Again, going back to our first call,
Yep.
if there's a man suddenly in
Yep.
your home,
Yep.
being like, come over here, do not go over there. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave the place. Be like, nope, I'm done. The first caller was like, my TV unplugged it and it's still on, and I left that apartment. And you're like, yes, that is that's the if there's suddenly a man in your home, apartment, home, condo, box under a bridge, whatever it is, who says, come over here, do not come over there. Leave. Go the other way.
yeah.
Go- yeah.
or even just, hey, how about I'm just going to stand over here and you tell me what it is you'd like to say.
Just, yeah.
If you're feeling brave, but
What
don't
you
go
actually
over.
do is be like, absolutely, I'm gonna. Sometimes I need to get notepads out of my car so that I can listen, and I'm gonna go grab them. I'll be right back. You're not gonna be right back.
Yeah,
That's,
right.
that's where you leave, and because what you just did was a lie.
What's the best case scenario? You walking over to him, like, are you like you really need a hug from somebody?
The best
Or-
case scenario is he's a ghost. And he's about to do ghost
or
shit.
that he had candy? Yeah, yes. So you walk over and he disappears. Now,
I mean,
I'm guessing-
best case scenario is this is a drunk and you're about to make a new friend.
I feel like there's probably several people in the audience who, if they have the superpower of when a dude invites you to walk on over,
Yeah.
and if you walk up to them and they just disappear, that'd be like a pretty good superpower.
I feel like that's a Paul superpower.
No, I think that there's, in a bar situation, sometimes the ladies or the handsome gentlemen are being a little bit harassed or being, some unwanted attention. Hey,
Yeah.
come on over. You could just walk over and they would disappear. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Oh, we
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
super chat.
We got a super
Oh.
chat. Oh my goodness.
I didn't see the fact
Oh.
thing come up. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
We got
Can I
from
do
Scotty
a-
Orange. Can Dave
I
do any
can't do
voices? You can or you cannot?
I can. But not for free. If you're good, like the Joker said, Paul, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
He did.
I'll take
and that was
requests. Anybody
that
throw
was-
it out. Give me a voice. I'll do my
yeah,
level
well,
best.
that's right. And in the super chat, we have the open invitation to suggest and maybe suggest a voice and the phrase that you'd like Dave to say in that voice.
You can get me to do what you want in the voice that I want, and you will be amazed by my feats of voical gymnastics. I am, in fact, Paul, an incredibly cunning linguist.
Have you seen the first couple new Rick and Mortys this season?
I just saw the first one. 'Cause I was
They are
curious.
not voiced by Dan Harmon.
No, Justin Roiland.
Oh,
Dan Harmon is still on the show. He's the writer. Justin Roiland is who voiced Rick and Morty and is the person.
but new voice actors this year.
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, I was impressed with whoever they got.
Yes, they did a
They did
pretty
a
good job. Yep.
Speaking of doing voices, yeah, and it's my understanding it was like they ended up hiring like fans of the show who just love to do impressions. So that's kind of
Yes.
fun.
I was like, these are yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I thought it was pretty good, and I do genuinely really love Rick and Morty.
Yeah, indeed.
I remember
right.
one of the Comic Cons you were on. There was like a big Rick and Morty thing, and you had never heard of them, and I spent like an hour explaining what Rick and Morty was and
That's
how
correct.
fantastic Rick and Morty is, and you need to check out Rick and Morty. Yeah.
You converted me.
Simpler times.
And yet I knew he wanted me to do something. And it sounds strange, but it's actually documented in the newspaper. I kept seeing myself in the mirror, and then all of a sudden I could see his face. And I thought, this is not right. And I found it on my neighbor's wall. She came over, and Rod came over, and I moved the mirror. I literally moved the mirror, and there was a room behind the wall.
Oh my.
And there was all these guns and knives, bow and arrows, Confederate money,
Really?
flags hanging all over the wall. And it was I was just kind of freaking.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So he moved a picture or a mirror off the wall, and behind that was a bunch of guns and currency from around the world. And this is what this is related to ghosts because the disappearing ghost wanted him to see.
Yes. Because it is the ghost of Jason Bourne.
I see. Also, why is the opening? That's a terrible. If the opening was meant for the people on the other side of the wall, it shouldn't really open on their side. They should have kept the gyprock, maybe.
Well, just take the currency and the guns. Do you have any idea how much guns are worth? A lot.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a good ghost.
This shared wall where I keep putting all my valuables that is clearly open to my neighbors. I wonder what's happening to all the currency I put in here. Why? I can't explain it.
Oh dear. Someone is taking my challenge to heart.
Ooh, Fern. This is a high degree of difficulty.
I like
for
the
$2
free
super
one I was
chat.
going to do for brain cramp of walking. But now someone's paid. I don't. I'm trying to remember what Phyllis Dillard sounds like.
I'm
blanking. I'm blanking on Phyllis Dillard's voice.
We got.
I don't know if I could do it.
What's the
I'm sorry.
Phyllis Diller?
Show me a picture of Phyllis Diller, Paul.
So this is. Oh shoot! We got ads.
We got ads. YouTube's gonna be happy with us with double showing ads.
Well, welcome to the ads, YouTube. You got extra ads.
You get extra ads.
Oh, but you probably can't hear this because I don't have this actually.
I definitely can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could just Google Phyllis Diller on my.
Anyway, that's
I
Phyllis
feel like
Diller.
I'm already blowing this.
Yeah, you've blown it. Too bad.
All right, since I can't do a Phyllis Diller impression, I'll do. Brain cramp asked for a Christopher Walken one before.
Okay.
I'll do it but since he wanted Star Wars stuff, but Fern paid for, so I'll do Christopher Walken telling a ghost story. Okay, all right. This is the best. I'm trying to please everybody. This is the best I can do.
All right.
'Cause I can't do Diller. Yeah. All right. Wow. Like, I went into the spooky house and there was a ghost there, and he said, "Boo." And I was like, why do you like this man? Let's just have a dance. I'm a hoofer at heart. And, now we're pretty good friends. It's my Christopher Walken telling ghost story.
That's excellent. Very good.
There we go. I apologize for it. I can't do Phyllis Diller. So there we go. First off the bat. You got to do a Joker voice off.
I feel like it's all you. You're supposed to Joker voice off.
You've done a bunch of Joker voice. All right. Let me see. I do. Oh, we're both gonna do the Mark Hamill Joker because that's the Joker that we like. Oh, okay. Let me think of a jokery thing to say. Tell me, bats, aren't we all just one bad day away from being completely mad? Holly, get in here quick. That's my joke. I don't know.
That that went into not Phyllis Diller. There was, but
Cesar Romero, is that?
Cesar Romero went into, yeah, yeah,
I'm wandering all over my.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's trivia time, Paul.
trivia time.
Mhm.
Was that the end of the super chats? All right,
Let's get away from my
that's right.
terrible,
From your
my terrible impressions. Yeah,
okay.
the
Let's
voices I can't do.
let's unpause the.
Oh boy. I talked a lot of shit and I can't back it up.
Are ghosts? So would you consider that ghosts properly are supposed to be like souls of the departed, and anything
Wow.
else? And anything else is not really technically ghost.
Now we're getting into some technical conversations here, Paul. There's many theories about that. We'll talk about this first.
Yep.
Which of the following is not one of the three ways ancient Greeks believed a definitely real ghost could be created after someone died? Not receiving a proper burial, dying too young, dying a violent death, or breaking an oath made to Hades. One of those is not one of the ways that ancient Greeks believed you could become a ghost after you died.
This was good because these are all plausible. You did a good job on this one.
Ancient Greeks hate this one weird trick.
It's your clickbait title for it.
Number 6 is going to really surprise you.
I'm thinking it was number 1, but
I don't remember which was which now. No, okay, no.
no, that was one of the ghost methods. Oh,
Surprisingly, it was
the
breaking
Hades,
open the
because that
Hades
one
this
seemed the most fun.
I know, right? But that did not turn you into a ghost.
Okay, fair enough.
Apparently, presumably, Hades would be hauling you down to the underworld to be, spend eternity pushing a rock up a hill or whatever.
All right, Dave. Well, so back to our ghost conversation here.
Yes. So, is it a soul? Is it some kind of imprint of a person left in the electromagnetic field after you die? So it's not so much a soul or whatever. It's just the lasting impression, a something, a moment in time that somehow gets stamped in this place. So it's not the actual person themselves. It's more of an imprint of a person. It's like a snow angel would be a way to think of it, Paul, right? It's maybe just a memory or something trapped somehow in a way we don't understand.
But I guess, as an umbrella term, like it needs to be like the residue of a living person, right? Or a living being of sorts.
Yes.
Anything else isn't necessarily a ghost per se.
No, the serious ghost. It would have to be somehow in some way created by a living person.
Gotcha. Yeah, like Slimer.
Yeah.
In the Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't actually seem like it was necessarily,
But presumably, at some point in history, was a living, real,
a living critter of sorts. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Scotty Orange is very generously sending us $10 super chat.
Ooh.
Spooky voice on command. Gary Oldman's Count Dracula. Gary Oldman, I will see anything Dracula. He's in.
Did you ever? You've seen the Dracula with him?
Yes.
With which one of the last great movies to use a whole bunch of in-camera effects and go. The special effects in that movie are a fascinating thing. We won't talk about that. Let's see if I can remember. If I can do the Gary Oldman Dracula, because I do like that movie. I feel like I'm not going to do this justice. but it's not like a super distinctive.
No, no,
It's like I'm trying to remember where he's like, oh, what's his rant about how God turned his back on him, and I'm not going to do this. Well, I'm sorry, Scotty, but for $10, I'm going to try. Oh shit, I can't remember any of his. Okay, wait, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up some.
all right.
I'll get an actual quote here that I can try to give. Ooh, that's a good line. Yes. I have crossed oceans of time to see you. That the one? Let me get a better one. Let's see. Then I give you life eternal, everlasting love, the power of the storm and the beasts of the earth. Walk with me to be my loving wife forever. It's a fucking terrible Gary Oldman impression.
Yay!
Yeah. The only one I could do was the one that was free. Yeah. I've crossed oceans of time to be with you. Well, it's, I'm sorry, Vishanti. I'm I'm trying my best. I do love Gary Oldman. I will see anything he's in.
All right, more ghost stories.
Did you know, Paul,
Oh,
that
yes.
Gary Oldman one time played Commissioner Gordon? You might not be aware of that, as you're not much of a DC fan.
No,
but,
this is
yeah.
This is news to me. Yes, I'm enjoying my purple clown villain the clown villain costume that I'm wearing right now.
I assume you're dressed up as King Shark from the Suicide Squad.
That's right. The one thing I enjoy at Halloween time, if you ever go to like the pop-up stores that have the shops and things, no one wants to pay the licensing fees, so everyone's costume is like Space Wizard.
Space Wizard.
It's Space Wizard.
With a laser sword.
Yeah. Or I've seen this one advertised as villain clown.
Do you remember we had Daryl and I had these like line of figures. I think his dad got them in Hong Kong.
Yes, I remember.
What we always talked about was Chewbacca the Nookie. It was like this gray Chewbacca.
Right. They were Korean or something. That they were clearly.
He was in Hong Kong, so that's where he got them.
Were they
from.
Galaxy Wars or something?
It was Galaxy Wars, but then so there weren't anything. So the cardboard of the package clearly showed the Millennium Falcon being chased by.
That's right. Yeah. A frame
Galaxy
from the
Wars,
movie,
and it was a Chewbacca figurine, but it was slightly bigger than the normal, like Hasbro or Kenner figs, and it was light gray. So we call it Chewbacca the Nookie. I can't remember what other ones there was. There was like San Holo, and
there was. They're designed specifically to fool your mom at the drugstore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, there you go. Life lesson for you, spooky bed hair. I promise a lot of shit, and then I don't deliver. My mouth writes a lot of checks. My body can't cash. We stuck to the Christopher Walken. I would have been fine.
Now at that point, I'm going, what is this? This is not right. And there was gun cleaning kits. I just could not believe all the stuff.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I called the police. But of all the odd things to do, I called the police. And the police come to the house, and they said to me, do you know who lives here? And I said, no. They said, the old chief of police died here. I said, you gotta be kidding me. They said, no. All this stuff belonged to me. And I told them what he looked like. And they said, you don't happen to, are you joking with us? And I said, no. This is what I saw. And after that happened, after they took the guns and knives out of the house, everything stopped. It completely stopped. The stuff stopped coming out of the cupboard. But I moved. I couldn't handle that no more. I had to get out of it.
Well, if you immediately moved, how do you know that it stopped?
Excellent question.
That'd
Also,
be-
I'm delighted that professional chat is now discussion is now broken out in chat. So that's fantastic.
That's a good movie. So this hole in the wall, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they had a shared wall between neighbors. It wasn't it actually was on his side. It was just the former owner.
Yeah.
Had cash and guns.
Cash and Guns. It's a very fun board game.
Uh-oh, Dave.
Jesus. Why are you people doing this to me? Can't you just be like...
You set yourself up.
I did. I set myself up for failure. I thought people would just be
Vishanti
like,
wants voice on demand. Christopher Lambert as Raiden.
hey, it's pronounced Lambert. That's
It's-
how we pronounce it in Canada. Yeah. As Raiden. Oh, that's a horrible movie. All right. For you, Vishanti, I will look up an actual Raiden quote from Mortal Kombat. Which a movie I
that
have
was
not
bad. That was
seen
some bad casting. I like
in
Christopher
years.
Lambert, but that was not good casting.
Okay, I'm going to give this a try. Are we ready? Ready to do this?
Wait till
Ready
the fax machine stops. There you go.
To publicly shame me? All right. You must first face your fears if you are to conquer them. Trying to do, Christopher Lambert's bad. Can't really speak English. Let's see. What's a good Raiden quote? Your world is but one of many realms. One of them is a forsaken land called Outworld, ruled by an immortal who has crowned himself emperor. Now he seeks a new world to conquer and enslave. How was that, Paul? Was that a good?
That was very good, Dave. That was at least as good as
It was
Christopher
goddamn
Lambert did
atrocious.
it.
Don't patronize me, you son of a bitch.
That was at
That
least
was
as good
horrible.
as.
We all know
Lambert
it's
did.
horrible.
Yeah.
That movie did not. You know what? Okay, I will say this. That movie was probably the peak of practical effects and like animatronics and robots. That was kind of the last great special effects movie before CG took over. And some of the Shao Kahn and like different, the big four-armed warlord guy and stuff like that was all practical. They do that with real things and puppeteering and robots and stuff, and it looks really good. Yeah, it is mediocre. Vishanti, you're being generous. That was bad.
That was
that was bad. My Christopher Lambert's not good.
all right.
What are we gonna do? I'll keep doing it. I'll keep embarrassing myself. You keep being me. I'll keep failing.
Back to ghosts.
Sooner or later, someone.
Goodbye. That's it. I'm surprised you hung in as long as you did. But at least you, in a way, got an answer to what it was.
Oh, yes.
I really appreciate your call, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, here's one for you. Dear Art, my uncle is a cardiologist, and we were discussing near-death experiences, and I asked him if he
I assume this was a fax.
It seems like, yeah.
ever had clinical experience with any of his patients. I wished for some time I would never have asked that question. He gave an account of a 23-year-old male patient was waiting a pacemaker implant operation. My uncle asked he was experiencing repeated beating when a heart block conduction failure for beating suddenly recurred. The periods of unconsciousness were becoming more frequent, suggesting a poor outcome. The patient did experience an NDE, and my uncle documented the patient's count. Art, this is my uncle's exact.
ONDE.
Yes.
These are near-death experience. This is my just make me angry in real life thing. Okay, neat.
Norman Dessert exceptionals.
What?
I'm trying to think about the things that start with NDE.
Oh, that's right.
Paul, I've had like 7 drinks. Okay, just
Notes. The patient
I think I actually have an uncle whose initials are NDE.
oh, there you go.
Well,
I mean, there's no cool story like this. My dad had one, not in any kind of like meaningful I saw heaven or anything way, but there was a time he was getting my dad had a heart attack and was getting bypass. No, not a bypass, a shunt. And there was an incident, and he essentially bled out. And I've seen the tape. His heart stopped beating for over a minute. And then they he was on an operating room table at University Hospital, so they saved him and went, but he was essentially dead for like his heart just stopped because all of the blood rushed out of his body. There was a thing, and this was in the 90s. And there you go. That's my best near death experience I got. He doesn't remember. He was under anesthetics and whatever. It's not like he's like, oh, I saw.
So he didn't have a
motioning me. He didn't see his mother on the other side of the river.
Gotcha.
Like he does remember. He's like, I remember being like sort of awake and being just like and seeing people panicking and like,
interesting.
scene missing, and then he wakes up after the surgery, right? Because it was supposed to just be like an endoscopic kind of thing, and then what happened was they accidentally cut the artery in his leg.
Oh no.
So very quickly, it's like, and you bled to death. But because he was already on the operating table in the hospital, they were able to be like, well, we can just sort of keep pumping blood into you while we fix this. And this was, like I said, 20 some years ago.
Right.
My dad is still very much alive today and is fine.
But that's not going to make Lee Strobel's next movie about near-death experiences.
No, and he saw, like I said, he saw no heartwarming figures in white. He saw no former family members. No, he didn't have a young boy's wonderful experiences of what heaven was like.
Pity.
No Hallmark movies are best-selling novels. So, again, all I'm going to inherit is debt. Thanks, Dad. Opportunity missed.
The
Hey,
fax
Paul,
machine
we
is
super
stuck.
chats.
Why is the fax machine stuck?
Yeah, I don't know. You're we're missing all kinds. I think you're
We got a Sonic Shroom for
Sonic Shroom.
for
Sonic
just a
Shroom.
$2 thank you, just a $2 hello.
Hey, Sonic
Appreciate you.
Shroom. We appreciate you so much.
Here's a good one, Dave.
Okay.
For $10, thank you so much, TC.
Well,
$10, he's got to do it.
It's on me.
Dave,
Let's learn.
perform some Shakespeare as Marlon Brando.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to oppose them, and by opposing end them, to sleep, to dream.
That's it. That's my
Very
Marlon
good.
Brando.
I like it.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
We got a member chat
Yay! That's a good one. I like it.
We're the real ghosts, the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Yes, Michael.
Actually, that is true.
The
It
friends
is,
we
yeah,
made along the way.
that is the way it goes. I don't know why the fax machine is stuck. So someone's gonna have to send in another super chat to fix the fax machine.
I mean, people have.
New one since that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it pops up because
Okay.
the chat's the fax machine's a little behind. But Timothy Harmon has sent another
Oh, there's another one.
right there. Quick, unplug the fax machine.
Yeah.
You can't
So that was.
There's a goddamn ghost in it.
Damn it.
Could have been a contender. Yeah. Good job, Spooky. Yeah.
So now I need to. So Sonic Shroom, that was
Yeah.
we
I
just
mean,
broke the whole.
Timothy's trying.
All right, well, we appreciate. Oh, now it went away. There we go. Oh, now we rebooted. We turned it on and off.
A word against Sonic Shroom, Paul, who is
What's
super
that?
chatting and supporting our show.
I appreciate. But yet, we need to start. We need to reboot the fax machine.
Look how they massacred my voice. Good call, Michelle. Yes. Very good. That's my voice. Fun fact, that is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Oh god damn, do I love
it.
The Godfather. So much. So much.
All right.
The television monitor to guide.
Ghosts.
What?
More ghosts.
No, we're not. Screw it. We're going straight to trivia.
We're going straight to trivia. You know why, Paul?
Because
This is All Hallows Eve.
that's right.
You're the Joker. I'm a demon priest. There's no rules. No rules. Sonic Shroom, you don't have anything to apologize for. You are beautiful and lovely, and we love that you're here. All right. More trivia. Maybe. The Bride is a definitely real Canadian ghost that has been depicted on legal stamps and coins and can be found at what famous hotel? The Empress Hotel in British Columbia, Victoria specifically, the Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, in Banff, the Algonquin Resort in New Brunswick, or Les Châteauneuf Frontenac in Quebec City, Quebec.
Le Chateau Frontenac.
Chateau Frontenac.
I
Which is an absolutely gorgeous building, by the way.
I need to. I'm going to let the clock tick down before I weigh in on this one because being a Canadian.
Yes, you know the answer to this question.
Well,
Yeah.
I've actually stayed in the hotel where this is a thing. So it's
I have not
definitely-
stayed in that particular hotel. I've golfed there. I've done other
it's
things.
number 2, and yes, because I stayed there before, that's part of the lore and the tour and the whatnot.
Of the see, there you go. Yeah. Yes,
There
it
we
is
go.
the
Banff
the
Springs
famous
Hotel.
Banff Springs Hotel, which is an absolutely gorgeous hotel in a
It
gorgeous
is.
part of the country. To be fair, I've seen all of these. No, not all of these. I have not personally seen all of these.
No, but they're all famous hotels.
Yeah,
in the-
I've seen a
well,
couple
if
of them.
If you're
They're
Canadian,
all, yeah.
I've not actually seen the Algonquin resort, but I've been to New Brunswick many times.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to Quebec City?
Yes,
The French Quarter? Yeah.
I had my. Well, no, that's not right. I had, Hull, Quebec was where I had my first poutine.
Putin.
Poutine.
Yeah. We had a super chat back before.
A super chat.
Oh, it's a Paul's pick. All right, well, I'll
are
let you
the
read.
super
I'll let you read,
chats?
Paul, because it's your pick.
Paul
Preferred.
Pick.
Okay.
Dave does a brief but creepy guided meditation by either A. Gilbert Gottfried or B. Lewis Black. Lewis Black or Gilbert Gottfried. I'm
Well, apparently, Paul,
almost
you get to choose.
I'm almost at a Gilbert Gottfried right now.
You're edging it. Yeah.
I'm going to go with A. Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried. Okay. A guided meditation. A brief but creepy guided
Creepy
meditation.
but brief.
Yeah.
Guided meditation.
All right. I've never listened to a guided meditation, so we'll
You
take
quiet
our
the
best.
mind, Dave.
Yes.
You let the thoughts drift away.
All right. Yeah. Close your eyes. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Let me do this. Close your eyes.
Listen.
You are one with the universe. Now, remember, you were small and insignificant, and the universe will not notice when you are reduced to dust. You fool! I'm Gilbert Godfrey. There we go.
Relax. Come on, relax.
Relax. I hope that entertained. Fern.
Wow, well done, well done.
Ooh, Fern brings up a good point too. The coin she's on is cool because if you tilt it, she opens her eyes. It is actually, that is true. The coin is very good. You fool! Yeah, Vishanti picked up my my reference there. The famous Hollywood Squares, Gilbert Gottfried. If anybody hasn't seen it, just Google Gilbert Gottfried Hollywood Squares. It's one of the greatest things you will ever see in
All
your
right,
entire
well,
life.
I will have to do that after the show's done.
You fool! Yeah.
Okay,
We're talking
Pacemaker
ghost
wire in
who? What now?
We're gonna telling ghost stories.
We're not,
What a
but
good
they're all
ghost-
they have to be serious. I don't want anyone trying to be
serious.
funny.
I think this is the problem with real ghost stories is they suck. This is why we
Right.
need fake ghost stories. Yeah.
Here you go, Dave.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sonic Room, Arnold Schwarzenegger doing
Sonic
an ad
Shroom,
for
okay,
My
this
Pillow.
This one I can do. This one I got it.
All
No
right.
problem. Okay. Okay. What are you going to lay your head on? Some kind of straw bale or goose down? Show me your leadership potential. Get a My Pillow. Show me you can do it. Together, we will conquer sleep. My Pillow. Today. Do it. How's that?
I like it. Well
You
done.
like it? All right.
I feel like we should get them as a sponsor now.
We should get that as a spot. I don't know if you know this, Paul. We don't get. Nobody wants to- No, I mean everybody. That's small potatoes. Isn't that like some kind of crazy? Didn't he get a bunch of trouble for like the insurrection or whatever, the My Pillow guy, wasn't he hauled before Congress and
I
doing
think
things?
so. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
correct. I
we're
think he was
Canadian.
part of the January 6th
We're out of,
problems.
but yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah. Do it now.
Do
Get a
it.
pillow. Do it. Do it now.
Get to the pillow.
Chopper. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
The thing is, the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger would that's for girly man. Girly
That's
man.
for girly
Only
man.
girly man use a pillow.
That's not Schwarzenegger. That's Hans and Franz.
That's Hans and Franz.
yeah. Which is a parody of Schwarzenegger, but I can't remember if Schwarzenegger himself ever actually using the phrase "girly man."
No, but he was big into the macho early in his
absolutely,
career,
yes.
the macho type stuff. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's not a
Inside my heart. That's when it stopped. I was blanking out, and then you hit me on the chest saying, "Excuse me." Then your fist came down like a hammer. I saw that scared look in your eyes. Someone was yelling. Something crashed over to my left, and everybody went crazy. You started shoving on me with both hands, and then I was out of it. I was floating, pitch black, moving fast, moving through a vacuum, as if life never ended. So black you could almost touch it, black, frightening, and desolate. I was all alone somewhere in outer space. I was in front of some type of conveyor belt which carried huge pieces of puzzle in weird colors that had to be fitted together rapidly under severe penalty from an unseen force. It was horrible, impossible. I was shrieking and crying. I was deathly afraid of this force. Then I saw a being of light. The wind whistled by, and
so hell is some sort of sweatshop for Santa.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a ghost story so much as like a crazy ass demon story or something at this point.
Or his weird NDE.
Mm-hmm.
I rushed toward this beautiful blazing light. As I moved past, the walls of the tunnel.
You're not allowed to talk about something. I said it's a legal thing you have to sign when you're not allowed to talk.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Nearest the light caught fire. Beyond the blazing tunnel, a huge black lake, but it felt like fire, something like a burning oil spill. A hill on the far side was covered with slabs of rock. Elongated shadows showed that people were moving aimlessly about like animals.
You want to read this one, don't you?
Arnold, get to the carpet. You've never had a friend like me.
I can't make anyone fall in love with you.
I cannot make anyone fall in love with you. I cannot kill anybody. I can't bring anybody back from the dead.
No wishing for more wishes.
No wishing for more wishes. The verboten.
In a zoo enclosure. An old stone building was on the right, mostly rubble, with different levels, an opening crammed with people trying to move about. Down the hill, I saw an old friend who had died. The last I recall, they were dragging the river for him. He had been involved with gambling. I yelled to him, "Hi, Jim." He just looked at me, didn't even smile. They were taking him around the corner when he started screaming. I ran, but there was no way out. I kept saying, "Jesus is God." Some way, somehow, I got back as you were putting in the stitches.
Just running up and down this fake dream bay. Jesus is God. Jesus is God. Everyone, don't make me put puzzle pieces together anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously, we just heard an experience, an NDE, of somebody who did not go to heaven but went to hell. East of the Rockies, you're...
But a pretty boring hell, honestly.
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah.
Not that interesting a hell. So, Dave, near-death experiences, one of the things that they talk about these is that in some cases, they're able to see themselves. Like the soul seems to lift above the body and they can travel in the building or in the room. And so I'm curious as to how the soul is of course, if you believe a lot of people, it's driving the brain. Like the brain is just the car in this case, and the soul is doing all the decisions. But if the soul can just leave, and it's not physical in any way.
Yeah.
I'm wondering does it suffer the same problem we had last week with the time travelers, in that the Earth is rotating and spinning and moving around.
I
the
would
soul
say no,
as not
because
material.
the soul, we're dealing with purely metaphysical realms here, not so we're talking about like we got a real Constantine situation with like the heaven and the hell superimposed over. You know how like it's like there's like the fiery hellscape LA and like the beautiful.
Yeah, so that was actually my question. So is there there's a alternate physical reality for the soul
Yeah.
that is anchored to our reality?
Yeah.
I see. And that is spinning in space somehow or whatever. I see.
And then it's possible that you can yank the soul out and the brain and body keep functioning, and that's how you get lich. Do you want liches, Paul? Do you want a lich? Because that's how you get liches. Yeah.
Fair enough.
On the air. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm calling you from Staticoke, New York.
Oh, if we're rating these, that wasn't a ghost story at all. That was Art
No.
Art chose that. He got the facts, he read it over, and he like just said, it's clearly not a ghost story.
I gotta tell you, overall, not super impressed with Ghost to Ghost so far this year.
No.
So, yeah.
No. Hopefully it picks up.
Oh, well, wait. There we go. Paul,
Yes.
Timothy Harmon says Jesus did go to, quotation marks, hell over Easter weekend. Your
He
thoughts?
did. But he was given a new body. He didn't have to be tethered to his old body. Although his old body disappeared, so maybe they just repaired the old body.
My shocking ignorance about matters, theological. Does it actually say in the Bible anywhere that Jesus went to hell?
So no, that is, well,
I know that's kind of accepted canon.
yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's in one of the apocryphal gospels where they ask God asked Jesus if he went to preach to the souls in hell, and he affirms that he did. But no, that's not in the canonical scripture, as unless I'm mistaken. But I don't think so.
It's like when I tell couriers and call them, ask them, like, "Has that piece been delivered yet?" When I know full well the piece has not been delivered, and I'm just being a smug smart ass about it. God knew the answer. He knew he was preaching.
That's right.
You didn't need to ask that.
Yeah, it's like, where's your brother? I don't know.
It was refurbished. Yes, it's just as good. Still got full factory warranty. Firm. It's just fine. Refurbished. There's no problem with refurbished.
I think I forgot to put the trivia clock up, so here we go.
Trivia time, everybody.
We're just gonna let
Paul's
this one.
ineptitude is your game.
But the game's still going, so.
Because you know what, Paul?
What's that, Dave?
There's no rules.
There are no rules.
Not for you and me. We transcend bounds of space and time. Is the harrowing of hell actually in the Bible? I don't even know. We're both ignorant, Vishanti. Which of the following people has not, I got a lot of not questions this time. Which of the following people has not reported seeing a definitely real ghost of Abraham Lincoln in the White House? Winston Churchill, Ronald Reagan and his dog Rex, Marilyn Monroe, or Eleanor Roosevelt. Only one of those people did not actually claim to encounter the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Which one was it? Seen some right answers there.
Uh-oh.
Chaos does.
You know what?
reign.
I'm gonna go with when Trivial Pursuit first came out, the answer was always Marilyn Monroe. That was just, if it was the history category, that's just the answer. It's either JFK or Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
So
I have an original edition of Trivial Pursuit floating around somewhere. It's full of a lot of questions. Yes, it
Hey,
was.
I was right.
Marilyn Monroe.
Look at that.
All of the rest of those people on record claim to have encountered the ghost of Abraham Lincoln
Wow.
in the White House. Yeah. Winston Churchill said he did it when he was naked.
Wow.
He said,
Okay.
Mr. Lincoln, you have me at a disadvantage because he was naked and had a cigar and saw the ghost of Abraham Lincoln.
Wow. That is a
Yeah.
disadvantage.
He was also a raging alcoholic. So,
Maybe he also, he just woken up, that would be
Yeah.
another.
Yeah. Well, he just came out of the bath, actually. He came out of the bath. That's why he was naked. So he came
Right.
out of the bath and went and Abraham Lincoln's ghost apparently was right there. And he reportedly said, Mr. Lincoln, you'd have me at something of a disadvantage. Because, he's a very reserved and stoic. Right.
Back to the harrowing of hell. Vishanti, you sparked my brain's a little bit out of it. I was trying to figure out which gospel it was in, and I was like, I can't come up with the gospel. It's in Peter. That's what it's in. 2 Peter.
Harrowing of hell is
Peter.
boring. Let's talk about the scouring of the shower.
So, yes, it is. I was like, I think it's in the Bible, but I couldn't pinpoint the gospel it's in. It's not in a gospel. It's in 1 Peter, which is definitely not written by Peter. So there you go.
The gospel has for this purpose been preached even to those who are dead, that though they are judged in the flesh as people, they may live in the spirit according to the will of God. I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch that that's specifically referring to Jesus being in hell and talking to the, could just be some angel. It's like your job is to go talk to dead people and rub it in their face that it's too fucking late. By the way, bet you wished you'd chosen God when you were alive. Anyways, enjoy eternal damnation. Eternal in this case meaning beyond time. Have fun.
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, believe it or not, the burial ground of the Iroquois Indian,
now
1
she's got
mile
footnotes,
away
babe.
from their burial.
Oh, you're getting schooled.
I've been what now?
You now Vishanti's throwing footnotes out there. This is turning into a.
Yeah, but the question I was asking myself, I was trying to pinpoint what gospel it was in, and I couldn't, and I was correct to not pinpoint a gospel. So, given my current state, I'm counting that as a win.
Gospel of Dave.
I couldn't come up with the right information, but I didn't say wrong information.
Caucasians 4-6. Jesus went to hell and kicked some ass. Now he's back. So watch your mouth. Mind your P's and Q's. Now we're getting into that bleeds into
That was just when Jesus. That was shortly after Jesus wrote the Second Amendment.
When I was in Bible school, that was our favorite. We would always quote Caucasians chapter and verse for whatever dumbass thing we wanted to prove. Yeah.
Ground.
Okay.
That is not my story. I was in the funeral business for several years and nothing ever happened. Then I divorced my husband and lived alone in this
I told you were in the funeral business.
funeral business.
With
They
your-
came and went. Huh?
I understand. With your ex-husband?
Uh-huh.
Yes, okay.
So everybody always thought, oh, you have both stories from there. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, the story began with it. 2 people that were next door to my parents. When I was a little girl, I used to go over there and battle them. And the old lady used to talk. It was fun. It was fun. And she would never accept it. And the husband was ready to put her away. And then when I had moved back by that house 2 doors away, she died the year I moved there. So she left me his little chair. So I had the chair in the corner in the parlor. And this one night, it was August 2nd, at 10 after 11. This is Eastern time. I was watching the news. And it smelled like mold. Okay?
Like mold.
No. And this little gray thing about, I'd say 4'2", come running through limping. Honestly, I never believed in ghosts. And I had a great dream, and he started growling, and he ran up the stairs. And I'm...
Okay.
Wait, this sounds like an alien story now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
a 4'2" gray creature came running out of a moldy chair.
Okay.
Okay.
You run upstairs.
thinking my eyes are saying, check on me, I'm tired. And that was that. The next night, my clock at 10 after 11 chimed 13 times. If you go by Army, I would do 1 o'clock.
What happened to what? Did you just let the gray creature up?
It's
upstairs. I'm going to stay downstairs.
It's on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what goes to, Paul.
All right.
Clock chiming 13 times.
Right.
Which would do 1 a.m.
Right, 13, no. 13 times would be 1,300.
Right, $1,300.
Well, okay, that'll be 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, 1 o'clock. Okay, so what?
What was that?
Yeah, she was like, well, should be 1 o'clock. And Art's like, Well, 13 times would be 1300, which is 1 o'clock. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, clearly what you just said.
He
man.
was. That's Art was mansplaining time
Yeah,
to her.
it was
Yeah.
mansplaining 24-hour time for this woman. Yeah.
Happened was this little thing happened again, same time, same smell. Everything was almost the same. So at this time, I'm like, this is not, a dream. So I told my mother, and they thought it was nuts. My sister comes over that night with her boyfriend, who was a policeman, and they sat there, and all of a sudden, 10 after 11, it came through again. Only the light bulb. Now, you have people tell about light bulbs.
Yes.
What happened was it flashed, but the bulb did not break. The filament split in half. They ran out. I stayed. I want to get to the bottom of it.
Sure.
It replaced the light bulb. Next night, same exact thing, light bulb. And when I went into the kitchen, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm ready to move. There's this little book on my counter. It's called The Mechanics of Chocolate Shop. I'm thumbing through it. It's from 1932. Never saw it. Swear to God.
Yes.
It ends on August 26th. It's a little kid's diary of Little League,
Right.
mostly, and birthdays. So there's a name in there, Roy DeLuca. I write it down. And from the funeral business, I had a lot of ties with the churches. And I'm a casino minister first. And I see that it sounds kind of odd. He wouldn't help me. I went to see a Catholic priest. We started. He says, we don't like.
The sound is bad on this call. I'm having trouble following.
Yeah, it sounds bad. She's talking very fast. Something of full disclosure, I'm pretty drunk.
Right.
So,
So she wrote down the name Roy DeLuca in a
Roy
book.
DeLuca, I caught that part, and something about like the priest, something, I don't know. It's like going a mile a minute. I'm kind of lost in this story. I don't know what she's talking about. She seems very fervent about it.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
To really talk about it. He says, but it is possible. It's a fall that does not last.
Yes.
He says, let me come over the following night, which he did. It came through. He says, you have a young child. I didn't know. Anyway, he says, you have a young child, so it's not resting, and there's got to be a reason why you didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thumbing through this book again, and then I found Roy DeLuca. That's why he lived in the neighboring town of Mechanicsville.
Oh.
I bring the book. This man, you guys can think, he's so ready to get the book, and he told me, and he's looking through it, he said, this book belongs to Bobby Jones. I said, he drowned. God, we were kids. And I said, Jones. I said, my next door neighbor was Sadie Jones, and she died this year. So I go to my mother's next thing. I said, how did he die? She said, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what to do.
What are you talking about? I'm legitimately trying, and I cannot follow this at all. Do you got any clue, Paul? What's
No.
going on here?
Well, right now she's just listing off people in the neighborhood who have died. So Roy DeLuca died, and so and so Jones. Oh, well, I know Sadie Jones who died this year.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, I'm lost. I don't know. There's a lot of dead people.
Okay. Well, we'll just get.
And apparently, no. But so, I think she's trying to tie it to a child who died. So the 4'2" gray thing is a drowned child. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm honestly listening and trying, and I'm like, I do not understand what this woman is just kind of like.
The static.
This is a name, and this is a name.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, cool. What does any of this have to do with anything?
Let's see if she wraps it together.
I go to bed that night after all this happens again, and I had a dream of a bicycle with a bent wheel, a little refreshing bike. So the next morning, I'm down City Hall looking through the records. I signed his death certificate. And then adopted child at a Saratoga arrived by newspaper. You could buy a kid through the newspaper back then.
Okay, we've got to hurry here.
Yes, I'm trying.
Yeah, speed her up. That's what we definitely need.
Yeah.
So someone died by bicycle.
I guess.
And then she went to look at her death certificate. Okay.
Okay.
So what happened was father bought him a bike, and he rode it down to the river, got caught in a railroad track, slipped in at 6 p.m. They raked the river, and they recovered the body at 1 in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. So the priest told me, when he comes back, show him his death certificate. I had a copy. He says, tell him he has to go on. His mother is dead. I did this. He never came back.
Well, that sounds...
Okay. All right. So these times correspond with... So a kid rode a bike... At some time, a kid rode a bike. His tires got caught in tracks,
railroad tracks,
and therefore he drowned. I don't know how he
fell into
drowned.
the river. I think I got that. So the bike hit the railroad track. The tire got caught. He fell into the river. Okay,
and now so he's wandering around, and he apparently wanders the house at these times where his body was found and when he died.
Okay,
and then but this child is looking for his mom, but his mom is dead. So the
Okay.
priest suggests that she shows the mom's death certificate to the ghost
Okay.
so that it can look elsewhere for its mom.
Okay. I mean, I feel like if anybody's in a position to look for dead, like the ghost should. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the
But
worst
then-
fucking ghost story I've ever heard.
So then she planned to do this, but then after that, after she did this, then the ghost never came back.
Well, good job, then, priest.
So
Once again,
this story has no closure.
the priests save the day with
Save
their
the day.
excellent advice. Yeah.
Exactly right. Thank you very much for the call. The Catholic
Thank you very
Church
much. We're moving on. Yeah.
Thank you for the call. Yeah.
does not like to admit that these things occur, but any of you who have ever heard Father Malachi Martin, who freely talks of these things, he is an exorcist and has been for
Someday,
a long
Paul. Someday we're doing
Father Malachi Martin.
because there's like 8 episodes with Malachi Martin on. Yeah.
time, many years. Father Martin will tell you without equivocation that they absolutely do occur. Now, I think that priests who are not used to dealing with these sorts of things are perhaps frightened of them, and perhaps with good cause. But soon you will hear Father Martin on the program again. He is presently writing 3 books simultaneously, so he's pretty busy. But you will hear Father Martin again, and when you hear him, there will be no doubt in your mind, none whatsoever, that evil exists and inhabits the bodies of
And there's no
those
reason
who
you
live.
would, and I'm sure you didn't. You didn't watch the Pope's Exorcist, the Russell Crowe horror movie that came out. It's horrible, and you shouldn't. You and I both like horror movies, and it's also just a horrible movie. I think.
Yep.
One thing. So this is a real. So it's a real guy. The guy in the movie is like a real person who was in fact the Pope's, like the official Vatican exorcist. And one of the things they talk about in the movie is like 98% of the time he is involved with an exorcism. He's like, no, this person needs, therapy.
Right.
He needs to talk to mental health professionals. And that's
Right.
one of the sort of things he's like, no, like you don't need the church involved. This person needs medication and counseling. Right. And we'll send them off to an actual accredited, but it also was like, but then every now and then we'll do an exorcism. But if you watch the movie, so much like they must have done some kind of deal because this is a real person in a kind of like real story. He plugs his book. He's like, have you read my book? Oh, by the way, have read my books. And it's like they plug them by name maybe 30 or 40 times.
Oh my.
It's like clearly this was part of the deal of them getting the rights to like tell this story is like you gotta just flog the hell out of this guy. It's like, yeah. It's anyway, they're terrible movies. And we got super chats, Paul.
We do. I also just want to say that I feel like Art's premise there. We say where the Catholic Church doesn't like to admit these things are true. I feel like the opposite is true. Catholic Church loves to perpetuate any kind
I
of.
very much feel having some experience growing up and going with the Catholic. It depends. It depends on the people you're talking. There's very much a. You get priests, people be like, no, like what are you talking about? Like there's no such thing as ghosts. Like none of this is stop being stupid and superstitious, right? Like this is hokum and you're watching too many movies or whatever, right? But there's also, like you said, the thing where like, oh no, this is very real. And
Well, I don't think, and I think they want to distribute there's spiritual warfare, like that. I think the Catholic Church very much emphasizes the whole spiritual warfare aspect of the whole thing, and however that manifests. Poor Claire sends us a $2 super chat.
Yeah.
Mike Lindell doing my pants TTC sponsorship ad. That's what he wants you to say.
I don't
Dave.
know. I don't know who Mike Lindell is. Do you know who Mike Lindell is?
I
Paul?
don't. Is that
Well, let's Google.
is that a sportscaster? What do we? I don't know.
Michael James Lindell. Oh, is the My Pillow guy. See, so here's the problem. Paul and I are both Canadian, so we do not have experience with. I understand the My Pillow guy and go, but I've never once in my life heard him speak. I don't know anything about him. This is gonna be just
do it instead as Nick Offerman. That's what I would say.
Nick Offerman doing
My
a toast,
pants.
My pants toast to toast sponsor bad. Nick Offerman. Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully, poor Claire, this will meet your things. We're going to do Nick Offerman doing a toast mushroom event. Is like, okay. Look, we all wear pants. You're going to need pants. So, what are we even talking about? You one of those weird people who doesn't wear pants? No. Come on. Wear pants. That's a terrible Nick Offerman
That was
impersonation.
not very. That was not very Nick
not
Offerman-y.
But like, how do you do a Nick Offerman? He just has his voice, and will be like
He how did he? Are you one of those freaks who wouldn't wear pants? No, that's not. That's terrible. That's also terrible.
Yeah,
Pants,
we both-
because he's got a
both think that.
he's got a growl, but also he rounds off his sentences with a
I can tell you my favorite
pants.
Nick Offerman line from from Parks and Rec,
Okay, try
which
that.
is the when he has had. This is the end scene in an episode where he's tried to get a steak at this thing, and the whole episode he can't get a steak, and finally he ends up at a breakfast restaurant in the morning, and he says to the guy behind the counter, he's like, "I'll take all your eggs and bacon." And the guy starts walking away, and he grabs the back of his shirt and pulls him back. He's like, "I'm worried you didn't understand what I said. I'm worried you heard me say, bring me a lot of eggs and bacon, when what I actually said was bring me all
Bring me
Okay.
all the brings
of your bacon."
Yep.
There you go.
Classic.
That's my favorite Nick Offerman.
I knew immediately which quote you're going
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it on Letterman? One of the late night shows that used to be Rick when Twitter was new.
Yeah.
They used to have Nick Offerman come on and read banal tweets. Nick Offerman reads tweets of young celebrities. I don't remember.
Okay.
That was great. It was a great segment because trite tweets. Anyway, yes,
feel like
Timothy
it would've
Harmon.
been probably- maybe
Timothy
whatever.
Harmon. Evil is an out. I was gonna let it just go. I was just gonna let it slide.
Timothy Harmon paid $2. You got to say.
Yeah, but I thank you for acknowledging it. It did irk me, it's not a thing.
Because evil can, in fact, be used as a noun.
People can incorrectly attribute things as a noun.
That's incorrect.
What my irk is that it shouldn't ever be, because it is not ever correctly used as a noun.
I mean, that's nonsense. Evil's been
On
used as
this
a noun
earth.
for literally hundreds of years.
That
just-
doesn't mean they're correct.
I mean, it does when it comes to language. That's
No,
pretty.
this is again. This is not a language complaint. I have many
could be.
language complaints.
Okay.
It is a misattribution
Ah,
complaint.
you're trying to attribute language to theology, when in fact, there's very little correlation between the two.
Right.
Do you feel the evil as it grows? There you go. Evil is a noun.
No, yes, it's possible to grammatically use it as a noun. I understand this,
So there
but
we go.
also when people use it,
your
they are-
argument is that there
See, the
is,
thing
in
is,
fact,
here's the thing.
no actual.
it's an
objective-
unspoken verb. So like if you press them on it, they would actually admit that what they're just describing. They're describing a noun as opposed to expressing a noun. This is Nick Offerman. Here's
Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman played Ron Swanson in The Office.
that's
Or
right.
not The Office. Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec. He was very good on Last of Us.
Yep. Very good in Last of Us.
I believe actually that particular episode was nominated for an Emmy. Has not. I don't think the Emmys have happened yet, but
Oh, thank you, Eddie Dean. We love you too.
all right. Off we go. Oh, trivia time. Does the alarm going off?
Anybody who's ever seen Time Bandits knows the evil is a noun. Trivia time.
Evil is not a noun.
Okay, whatever.
It's not ever correctly used as a noun.
Don't push your agenda on me.
I got agendas, and I push them around the block.
You're pushing like a goddamn linebacker pushing this agenda. Steamboat Willie over here. For all you horror movie fans, which film is believed, I think this is the very last question, Paul, which film
Okay.
is believed to be the very first horror movie? Was it The House of the Devil, made in 1896? The Horseman, who at this point still had his head, in 1907? The Curse of Frankenstein in 1915? Or Die Toten sind Eismann in 19... I can't read the last of it. Your Ghost is in the way. I don't remember what the...
Die Toten
1905.
sind einsam.
Yeah, Die Toten sind einsam.
I like that one because it's fun to say.
Yes, German expressionism. The dead... something... I can't remember what that stands for in German. Yeah.
Which will it be? And this is the final question. Everyone got to do your best here. Oh, very few got it correct. The House of the Devil.
Done by George Melanu, the guy. What was the Hugo? Remember the movie with the kid and the French go and the guy.
Right, yes. That was it. Was called Hugo.
guy
Yeah,
who created that movie, The House of the Devil. And yep.
All right. So in a few seconds here, it'll start tallying up all the scores to see who our winner is and who joins us on the Tumblr Club. Oh, brain cramp. I'm sorry, you did terrible. No, and I know, like, no excuses. I like that brain cramp. That's a good attitude. No excuses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Do we have a tie?
No, I think we have. I think Michael Masros. I think is he not a previous winner?
Are you a previous winner, Michael?
Which is fine. We've had this conversation before. Previous winners are allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah. So second place. Congratulations, TC and Allison. But with 5 correct answers, Michael is our winner. And I'm in touch with Michael regularly, so we will be able to perhaps Michael would like a different prize. Perhaps you would enjoy the Toast to Toast mug, which is a thing.
It is a thing. I feel like you need more Toast to Toast merch, Paul.
Or perhaps you would like a second tumbler so that you can have company.
Yeah,
you and a guest.
They can enjoy the show together.
That's right.
Clink.
All right. Well, we successfully.
You don't have to call me out like that.
Who potentially had I'm guessing. Okay, Michael says, "Give my tumbler to someone else, please. I have one." All right. So then I feel like TC then.
Right? Yeah.
TC.
Congratulations.
Contact me at paul@paulogia.com or via the comment section here.
Yeah.
And we will get that tumbler out to you. And you can join the Tumblr Club. Well done, TC. Congratulations. And thank you, Michael, for your generosity and community spirit. And I don't think anyone had that Paul successfully runs the trivia game to the end.
Yeah. There you go.
No one was expecting that.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
All right, Dave. Well, you're still going strong.
We got more movies. We got more. We got a couple super chats, buddy.
Oh, wait, did I miss some super chats? Okay.
You missed one from the Ratsmith.
Oh, I got Timothy Harm. Oh, let me go back.
Go back.
The Ratsmith.
Pre-trivia.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Joker Lugia should say.
Yeah.
This
is on you.
This stream needs an enema.
Go ahead.
I think Jack Nicklaus was my Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus, famous golfer. contemporary of Arnold Palmer. Yeah.
He was that golfer.
What did he say,
he,
Paul?
He was a terrible joker. He just not a good job.
Chai Rodriguez. Had some thoughts.
Yep.
Yeah.
My father loved Jack Nicklaus. All right, Jack Nicholson, I think was among my least favorite jokers.
Yeah. It's you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? It's yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. I don't know if it's his fault. I feel like he could have. been a good
No, it was a whole.
review has its own things. We got more super chats though.
I
my
know.
friend.
It was someone from Timothy Harmon. As I
Yeah.
recall, Paul argued wrongly
Yeah,
that evil is exclusively an adjective. No,
absolutely correct.
that is not what I argued. I
did
argued
you argue,
that no
Paul?
one should use a noun, not for grammatical reasons, but for just because it isn't a noun. Like, it is never correctly used as a noun to correctly actually attribute, to talk about an object. When you press people on it, they're always using it as an adjective, but they're insisting it's a noun, and I've yet to come across an exception to this. So there you go.
I can absolutely provide you. I will do it outside if you want. There are examples I can cite that where evil is used as a noun, where evil is a thing. They're in fiction, but still.
No, because because they're saying that creature or that power is evil. Like they're saying
No, where it's like this is evil. Evil is
but it's not.
well, I mean, in
You're
your
just-
narrow worldview, yes.
You're just using it as a you're just placeholder naming things. Well, that's red. That thing's red. It's red. Well, is it really red by any? No, it's not. It's just I'm calling because it did dude. I'm giving him the name. He's dude. A dude named Red. It's not a thing. Anyway,
What the hell are you talking about? Red is absolutely a thing. Red's a noun. Are you trying to say red's not a noun?
well, that's a bad example. Sorry. No. Well, red is not a noun either.
I mean, it's red is a noun in that red is a color, so you can have like
I suppose it's a concept. Yes, there's a concept. Well, All right. I'm not equipped to have this
you're
conversation
right.
right
Red
now.
is more often as an adjective, and evil is. You're absolutely right that evil is typically used as an adjective, but evil.
No, it
can
should be
also
used. No, people typically do use it as nouns, and they shouldn't.
No, people typically use it as an adjective.
I suppose you're right, but some
Yeah.
people think that they're using it as a noun when really, if they thought about it for 5 more seconds, they would understand that they're not. All right,
Have
was
you
that
ever
all the
seen
super
Time
chats?
Bandits?
What? Who?
Have you ever seen Time Bandits?
Yep.
Evil's the antagonist of the whole story, the movie.
Well, but they've just given a name. They've just named something evil. It's not. Anyway. Brain Cramp, thank you for gifting people live memberships.
Yeah. I'm sure Antjer and Olivia Williams and Michael and Josway and Slackback and Tesla Ranger are very grateful.
And thank you, Lauren, for the congratulations. I don't think anyone expected the Spanish Inquisition or me to finish the trivia game. Can we finish the episode? That's the question.
I mean, almost for sure not.
Until somebody like Father Mark.
So here's my problem, Paul.
Yes, Dave?
We're at what, 2 hours and 40 minutes in now?
Yep.
Something like that. Which is not that long for us.
2:38.
I thought I had stockpiled a sufficient number of drinks. And I have drunk everything I have within arm's reach of me.
Uh-oh.
I need to go get another drink.
Okay.
I'm going to go do that because this caller, honestly, is kind of bored. So I'm going to go get a drink.
You just want me to plow through this caller while you're gone?
Yeah, you just carry on because this is bullshit.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get to a good ghost story yet tonight.
All right. Sounds good. Well, we don't have that much left, actually, so...
Well, all right. Be
All
right
right.
back.
Comes along. Okay, this is from Pam in Anchorage, Alaska. Art, this is my story. It's a true one. I was a young 24.
You know what? I'm going to wait for Dave because this is a new... that caller was refreshed. We don't actually have that many callers left. Hey, tell us how you got those scars, Paulogia alive. Well, trying to how do this Heath Ledgery that got the scars. These, as someone earlier in the chat suggested, that these were the scars of young Earth creationism. These were the scars of. This one came from thinking that dinosaurs and man lived together. This one came from thinking that if the divers went down on the Dead Sea, on the Red Sea, pardon me, Sea of Gal, that they would find wagon wheels from the Egyptian armies that were down at the bottom. This one's from thinking that all the species of the world, of the planet, could all fit on one boat and live there for a year. And it would all be fine. And genetic bottleneck wasn't a thing. And that these came from thinking that why are there still monkeys was a good and valid question. That's where these scars came from. Thank you, Hive Psi. Appreciate you. All right. So while we're... I got one more super chat. Oh, this is excellent. Scotty Orange says, dealer's choice. Paul chooses a voice for Dave. Okay. So I get to do that when Dave gets back. And I should pay... I need to actually go to a different window to see if Dave even is back. He's not back yet. Let me see what else is happening in the... Oh, we got more super chats. That's excellent.
We all lived in a yellow submarine.
That's not that. My Joker was better earlier in the evening.
Bats.
So Dave,
What's going on here?
so I was just reading various chats and as the Joker. So I get to. We had a super chat from Scotty
Okay.
and Scotty Orange, and it was dealer's choice. Paul chooses a voice for David.
Okay.
So here's what we want to do. We want to
Yep.
do. We want to do strong bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Doing the Lord's Prayer.
Doing the Lord's Prayer. All right. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I'm trying to remember. Okay, that's not a very strong bad. I can do strong bad. Our kingdom come, our will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us some trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And forgive the cheat. And
It would. So I think that was really good. Each line should have been slightly wrong. Give us this day our rye bread, and lead us not.
These not in temptation. Oh, this is I actually can do a good strong bad impression. I'm really messing it up. That's too bad.
Well, you did well. I'm happy.
Right. I really didn't, Paul. Don't patronize me.
Well,
that was a terrible strong bad impression.
And I don't even know if anyone knows who Strong Bad is, but it was my choice, so I get to do it.
Some people have recognized the Homestar figurines I have on my desk before.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Some people know who. They can sort of back there.
The Ronin is asking, can we get Joker asking Batman if evolution is real? And if we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Okay.
Yeah, Joker. And I got. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you before. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
You think evolution... Bats, you think evolution is real? Evolution's not real, Batman. If you think evolution is real, tell me this, Batman. Why are there still monkeys? If we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys?
I liked it. And the best part of that impression to me
Yes.
is that he's talking to the Batman. because you mentioned the Batman 3 times.
I
So
did.
it's clear.
It really
Although
rings.
I can't throw any shade because that was better than any of the impressions
Well,
I've done tonight.
very
So,
good.
you know, yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
What was the thing you forgot and now remembered and maybe forgot again?
Have you watched any of the new Pete Holmes series on YouTube, The Bat Canned, where Batman is firing various people?
I haven't. I've seen. I think it's the same guy who used to do Professor X was firing
Yes.
people.
Yeah, the Professor X firing people, or the Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
HR
No, I haven't
department.
seen any of. I haven't seen any of those yet.
There's one where he fires the Joker,
Okay.
and it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And you need kind of the other ones are like, it's fine. It's very much the
Mhm.
same bit as the X-Men, the EX-Men, which is the
Right.
those are funnier. Pete Holmes, but the Pete Holmes. So there's two. There's one where Batman fires the Batman. So it's kind of like the Christopher Nolan Batman
Okay.
versus Robert Pattinson, the
Mhm.
detective Batman, the young emo goth. And there's one where he fires the Joker, but the Joker is the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Joaquin
it-
Phoenix. Yep.
Oh my god! Oh, it's so good, Paul. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
just Google Batman fires the Joker.
Love it.
Anyway,
All right. So I opted while you were gone to the boring call ended.
yeah, skip
And
it.
so I opted to pause it when he was starting on a new one because we actually only have a couple of calls left, I think. So
Oh well, there we go. I have another Caesar, and I brought most of a whole bottle of 100 proof old granddad bourbon. So we're
Ooh.
set. I'm good right here. We're
Perfect.
set.
Year-old stationed at Whitman Air Force Base in Knob Noster, Missouri. I hope I got that right. I was living in an old house that had been remodeled. The house about 150 years old. Now, I'd been living there for about 3 months when one night I woke up because of a terrible stench. It permeated the entire house. The smell, a combination of dirt, rot, and alcohol. It was so bad that it woke me up out of a deep sleep. I got up, went throughout the house, tried to find the source, couldn't find a thing. Next night, again, awakened, the same smell. This time, I went across the hall to my roommate's bedroom and woke her up. She woke up asking what the awful smell was, so it confirmed in my mind I wasn't dreaming. The third night, again awakened.
it wasn't the roommate. I was like, what is the roommate doing to create the bad smell? All right, carry on.
By the smell, but this time an old man was sitting at the foot of my bed. He had distinct features, but he was transparent. He smelled of rot, dirt, and alcohol. He just sat there. I was so startled, I sat up in bed afraid to move for hours until daylight. I went to work the next day.
Again?
Yes.
Leave. This is the point. You should go away from that place
Mm-hmm.
and never come back. On your way out, set fire to it. Like if you ever actually experience this, just fire.
It does
You
seem
know?
like.
And I don't wanna get-
fast. You get your fast zombies versus your slow zombies. It does actually
Mhm.
feel like, a lot of times in these stories, the ghosts are anchored to a particular spot.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to get in shit for YouTube for encouraging arson or whatever, but if you wake up and there's an old man at the foot of your bed and he smells of rot and alcohol, fire. That's the thing. Just, burn it all down. And
I feel like
we'll-
so. First, let's.
Yeah.
I feel like the important here. Make sure he's a transparent man, a semi-transparent man. Like
no,
if it's
I
just
don't think you do. If there's any old man that smells of rotten alcohol at the foot of your bed,
no.
leave the place, start a fire.
I feel like there's some kind of gradient between.
There's not.
No,
Nope, fire.
just straight to the fire.
The scale goes from 1 to 2, Paul. 1, comfortably sleeping. 2, fire. There's no
Mm,
in betweens. Yeah,
that's that creationist math. Okay.
I guess. It's a fucking old man sitting at the foot of my bed. That's it. Fire.
I was doing a video this week with creationist stuff, and it just strikes me as so. It's always about like, well, there's this fossil, and it's like, oh no, that's not a partial hominid. That's just a full human or a full monkey. Like it's just every single one, and like so, it's just like taking any decimal and saying,
Yeah.
oh no, that's not 1.8. That's just 2, and that's not 1.2. That's just 1. And if you
That's
just
what-
declare every fraction to be, well, I'm rounding it up or down,
That's
and
the
then
old.
I can deny all decimals. Well, that's the way it goes. So anyway,
If we ever kick off the Bimon Sci-Fi Con channel, we will be rating every movie on a scale of 1 to 2. Greatest movie ever made, or yeah,
perfect.
most horrible tragedy in the film history.
Well, maybe sometime you'll guest on my new show where we talk about Answers in Genesis, reviewing movies.
Yes, I have advocated in personal chats that if you do that, I need to be involved as an impartial outsider.
Well, it's fun. It would be fun because we're reviewing the movie review. Like you're reviewing a review, not you're reviewing the movie, right? It's like
so I have actual, probably meaningful, pointy comments to say. And I don't give two shits about Answers in Genesis and whatever nonsense they're spouting. But it'd be like, what the fuck do you mean? This is This is gonna be like when you got me to watch. Jesus, who was the creationist that?
Oh, the Kent Hovind that we were doing.
Ken Hovind. It's not Ken Ham. Hovind.
Yeah.
And I got so angry, and I was like, out of okay, like stepping back, me in actual out of this conversation with Paul, I'm like, why do you do this? Why do you keep watching this man say these things? I don't feel nearly as passionate about this as Paul does, and I am getting viscerally furious just listening to the absolute bullshit nonsense lies that this man is spouting as if they are certifiable fact. It's making me angry. How do you deal with this on a day-to-day? How do you make this your job? And I don't know. Paul just has he's got a way better cardio system than me. Exercises. I can probably deal with this. I'd be dead of a heart attack if I had to.
Well, as often as the case, my neighbors see me walking my dog, yelling "no" at the sky.
Just your head twitch.
Because I listen to this stuff in my headphones when I walk my dog, and yeah. Speaking of which, can we see my sleepy dog? Oh, there's a super chat in the way.
Your dog is always sleepy.
Let's read the super chat. Paul, in your awesome, as always, video this week, you missed the best cartoon sock crisis reference. We got a 2319. Oh, shoot. You are absolutely correct. Oh, damn it. I should have had the 2319.
I don't know what you got. Maybe you need to talk to Mark Fernkoff. Bring him on staff.
Oh, Mark. Now I feel like I have to remake that video.
So you can throw in the 2319.
Yeah. Oh, and as if on cue, my dog decided to wake up and
then slightly move position. And
now she's guarding the house again.
Oh, is she back at the window?
Looking out the window, guarding the house. So
Good
that's
job,
great.
Bella. Keep us all safe.
It's too long to explain. Too long to explain what the point of the video was. But I had said that perhaps this was the greatest sock.
Maybe I'll watch it and see.
Maybe. But that would have been 2319 would have been way better, and I wish I wish I'd.
I do like the 2319 reference.
Yeah, that was pretty great. All right, and then we have Poor Claire. Welcome, Poor Claire.
That might
appreciate
be
you.
Poor Claire
participating in the show. Dave, in Paul's voice, say, according to Merriam-Webster, evil has been used as a noun since before the 12th century.
I honestly feel like. Well, I don't know how similar our voices are. Let's see if I can do a Paul impression. I got to go a little lower register. Paul's got a little deeper voice than me. According to Merriam-Webster, that's not a good Paul. Okay. According to Merriam-Webster, evil has been used as a noun since before the 12th century.
It sounds largely like a Dave doing it, but that's okay.
I mean, it kind of does. I
couldn't do a Dave, so we're.
But that's pretty much on brand for my impressions.
Couple of Canadian prairie boys, yeah.
Couple of Canadian prairie boys. Yeah. Maybe I'm just really bad at impressions.
Well, let me see if I can even do it. Can I do myself?
Yeah, just say the line.
According to Merriam-Webster, evil has been used as a noun since before the 12th century.
According to Merriam-Webster, evil has been used as a noun since before the 12th century.
Dave has seen me record my videos, and in which
Yeah.
case I'm terrible at dialogue, and so I have to do like 9 takes of every line.
Paul's and me record. I just kind of like, fuck it, it's fine.
Yep.
That's good enough is good enough. That's my yeah.
We have the Rat Smith saying David's costume is perfect. He's in holy vestments and is a little horny. Well done.
Yeah. Someone's picking up what I'm putting down here.
Mm. That's the least horny he's been all week. All right.
I blame Much Music.
Exhausted
All the
because
Rat
of the
Smith
lack of
just
sleep.
$2 super chat. Just thanks for showing up. Before that,
We see that. There we go. Thank you, Ratsmith.
mm-hmm.
Appreciate you.
I worked with a woman whose father owned the house that I lived in, and so I described the old man to her that I'd seen at the foot of my bed. I told her about the awful smell of dirt and alcohol she had.
Danny, not Grand Canyon. He jumped Snake Canyon. Anyway, sorry.
Strange
Yes,
look on her face.
backyard.
As I described it all, she began to tell me about the couple who'd owned the house before her father. They were an elderly couple, married for 50 years. The woman got sick, and he took care of her until she died in the house that I am now living in. The old man became so lonely and distraught that he began to drink, never leaving the house. They found the old man dead. He died in what was my bedroom. This, of course, disturbed me. I had to do something about it because I was not getting any sleep. That night, I resolved to take care of the problem. Again, I was awakened by the smell. There he was at the foot of my bed again. So I looked at him. I told him I wasn't afraid of him. I told him he was dead, and this was not his home anymore. It's mine. I told him I was taking very good care of his old house, and that he needed to leave me alone and go away. He just looked sad, stared at me for a moment or so, and disappeared before my eyes. He never came back again, and neither did the smell. Art, it really happened. East of the Rockies.
All right. Well, there's a lesson in just being mean to old men.
Yeah, just be assertive. Stand
Be
up for your
assertive.
property rights.
I guess that's the yeah. You don't live here no more, man.
Mm-hmm.
See, and Dave, you look. All she did, she had a rational, calm conversation with the smelly ghost. You wanted to burn the place down.
I feel like it would have been effective.
But you could have. Sure, it would have been effective, and there'd have been no place.
Would have been
And
a way
then-
better story.
And then
It
the
is
smelly ghost is just. But all her stuff would have been burned, and she'd have needed to find a new place to live. And probably the insurance company would say, "Hey, we don't
presumably,
really
yeah,
cover.
insurance,
We don't
you're
cover
full-
arson, even if there was a smelly ghost."
That's why you should always pay for ghost insurance.
Well, I'm not that now. That's the most common sense thing you've said all night.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta have
mean,
your ghost. You gotta have ghost insurance.
yeah.
But this person just had a real face to face talk with she was real with the ghost and said, "Hey,
I feel
Right.
like that's an opportunity missed. That ghost probably had all kinds of life experiences and interesting stories. He could have told. Maybe lived through 2 world wars. Like, hey, ghost, what was it like when you were a kid? But no, just like, dude, I'm paying rent now. Fuck off. All right. I guess I'm gonna leave.
poor guy, 50 years of marriage with somebody. He was just looking for something new, but all right."
And everyone always talks about that. I go, I wonder how many people on the daily sleep in rooms where people have died at some point in the past.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's a lot. A lot.
Yeah, like that used to be a disclosure requirement. You got to disclose if someone died in your house. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore.
I mean, like, especially if you go to like Europe and Asia, Africa,
Oh, yeah.
like so many. You feel like probably this house is 700 years old, right? Like so many people have to have died in it.
Right. I was flashing back to this house, which is like, 7 years old or something. It's like, yeah, I don't know how many people died here, but
Yeah. Hopefully,
Relatively few.
just the hobos you bring back to murder for sexual fulfillment. Other than that, very few.
That's the story we're going with.
That's the story we're going with on Toast to Toast. Anybody have anything they want to say about that?
You're on the air. Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Yes,
You're talking to me now. I've been listening to you talk to the other people,
that's true.
and it's very interesting.
Where are you?
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg, Virginia. Okay, go right ahead.
Well, the story I've got that got me to thinking all these years about the energies involved in life and death processes because I saw a newly formed ghost. And I had a partner with me that saw it also. I was a respiratory therapist working in big city hospitals in Houston, Texas at the
Yes,
time.
yes.
And we were on the code blue team. You know, we saw a lot of death, I'm afraid.
Sure.
Hard to say. And this one night, this gentleman came in. He was in his late 60s, early 70s. Was very tall, very, distinct-looking fellow wearing blue jeans and a black and red plaid shirt. So, I mean, he was going to stand out in the crowd. And
May have been George Lucas.
Could have been. Lots of people wear plaid shirts, blue jeans. Yep.
And he had a little heart attack, and we were in the doing CPR on him. After about 45 minutes, the physicians in charge called it, and my partner and I were cleaning the tubing and all the paraphernalia we used to resuscitate someone off. And we were going out into the hallway of the emergency room. We looked down into the lobby, where about 20 to 30 members of his family had come, and the doctors were explaining why he had died. And we looked
30 members of his family came for a heart attack. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
down there. I guess the lighting was just right or something. We could see this fellow who just died standing there, waving his hands in front of the faces of all his family members, going from one to the other, trying to get them to see him.
Oh, my.
You could see him mouthing the words. If you could read lips a little bit, you could see him mouthing the words like, what's the matter with you all? Why are you all crying? It's like he didn't know he was dead, and you clearly see he was still in that ghostly, see-through kind of image. He was still wearing the clothes that he was still laying in there dead in. So that makes you start thinking about ghost clothing.
How could you handle that?
Well, I just puzzled over it. My little lab partner was a smoker, and she freaked out and lit a cigarette, and she still so freaked out. She lit a second cigarette, not realizing she still had the first one of it. And, and
I can relate to that.
you need to quit smoking, yeah.
I know.
And bad for you.
I know. All right.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'll be waving at my relatives, probably with a cigarette in my hand. I'm here. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank
Take care.
All right, so
Oh, I know.
so someone died. I do like this thought about what the ghost clothing, like, why are we seeing the ghosts? What is it about clothing that also translates to your soul and whatever it is that lasts of a human beyond?
Well, if it's the mental image, if it's your image of yourself that somehow carried on,
You're projecting. I see.
You're projecting, right? It's the memory, the emotional weight, the something of who you are. So it's you as you see yourself at whatever
That makes,
time.
because I was gonna go, like, if I'm a ghost and I can, if you can wear anything you want, why not, like, have a, I'm wearing a $5,000 suit, because why not?
Yeah.
Because I'm just projecting.
You got your Scrooge McDuck spats.
But actually, I like your answer. Your answer is good. So it's how the person sees themselves. That doesn't explain, how you get the ghosts that have, like, the people who don't realize they're dead,
right?
A la, Sixth Sense, right, where they were showing their wounds,
Right.
While a ghost. But that's a different,
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Paul. Sixth Sense is the movie. We're talking about science here. Okay.
Good point. Good point.
Flash Gordon didn't actually ride a firecracker to the goddamn moon, Paul. That's not how that works. That's a movie.
Many of your best paranormal scientists. What was Bankman in the go?
He was a parapsychologist.
Many of your best parapsychologists. When
Well,
they see Sixth Sense, if you bring that up at a party, they'll just roll their eyes about all the inaccuracies.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not how that.
And how that M. Night Shyamalan has set parapsychology back by years because of
Yeah. Yeah.
just like Jurassic Park and you have dinosaur experts. All right.
It's part of the costume, Timothy. I can't. I need it. It's comforting.
That bothers me. I've heard so many stories like that. People who don't seem to understand that they've died. It doesn't seem to have registered on them that they've died. Consider how frantic you would be. You're dead, but you don't know it. You're translucent and cannot be seen, except perhaps by a few emergency medical workers, doctors, nurses. And I wonder if you finally get to disappear when you realize you're dead. I think we're going to end it here for tonight with regard to Ghost AM. And again, I say to you what I said earlier. As you listen through the evening, some stories better than others, but the majority certainly convincing. Collectively, I find it nearly impossible to ignore the evidence.
What was that?
We had better ghost stories last year.
Yeah, this one wasn't. So this is what we get. We don't. So this one we very much didn't pre-screen.
No.
So
we had there was like the good farmhouse one last year. There was a couple really good ghost stories last year. Oh well.
You get what you get, but yeah, as Art said, yeah, some are better than others. That's correct. Some were better than others.
As Super Chat said, the real ghosts were the friends we made along the way.
That's right. The real ghosts were the friends we made along the way. All right, well let's let him finish his last sentence here.
That there is something certainly very significant that lies beyond this very simple and short, cosmically very short existence, mortal existence we have on Earth. And it is programs like this, if you listen carefully to them, that will convince you.
No, that's not the case.
Not this program.
I feel like this program was I'm least inclined to believe the weird thing of all the shows we've covered.
Yeah. Hopefully next year, 1998, we get some better ghost stories. Because,
well, or 90. Joe said, should we go to 97 Part 2? We can figure that out a year from now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you and I are still talking to each other a year from now.
That's true. We never know.
You never know.
Turn sour.
Don't take anything for granted.
Well, we appreciate our audience. Thank you so much for hanging with us for this Ghost to Ghost AM.
Mm-hmm.
And for all the super chats and the trivia answering and all the fun times that were had. Dave, I know sometimes you like to end us off with a joke. Art started us off with a joke, so you could be off the hook if you want to. But I don't know. Do you have a Halloween themed joke of sorts?
Okay. Okay. I got a Halloween joke for you.
Okay.
There is a full-on Southern revival, canvas tent, spiritual meeting.
Okay.
And this preacher gets up and he's full of, fire and brimstone, and he's preaching the word. And he says, "Now I want you all to know, I believe in the afterlife. And I've traveled across this land, east and west, north and south, and I've spoken to groups of people just like you, good people, God-fearing people. And I've always asked this question: how many of you in your life have ever seen a ghost? Because I believe in the afterlife. I believe there is something after our mortal life. And I want to know, who here has seen a ghost?" And about half the audience, maybe a third, kind of tentatively put their hands up. We see some people put his hands up and he says, "Hallelujah! God bless you people. You have seen proof of the afterlife. God bless you." He says, "Now here's where the rubber meets the road. I want to know, who here amongst our brothers and sisters in the congregation today have actually touched a ghost? Who out here in the crowd, I want to know, has touched a ghost? Because I have traveled east and west, north and south, all across this great land, across God's country, and I want to understand who here has touched a ghost." And far fewer people, only maybe 50 people in this crowd of thousands, put up their hands. But they put up their hands and they say,
Hallelujah. Look at these people. These people have been blessed. They have actually touched, they have physically interacted with what comes after. These people are chosen by God. They are blessed. Everybody give them a round of applause, and the people cheer, and there's dancing and screaming, and the crowd goes wild. They want to hear this. He goes, finally, I want to know, never in all my travels, all across this land, in all the years I have been preaching the good word, in all of the sanctuaries and tents and fields and riversides I've spoken in, nobody has ever answered yes to this question before. I want to know, anybody in this room, have you ever physically lain with a ghost in the biblical sense? Is there anybody who has ever had relations with a ghost before? Please stand forward. Have you ever been with a ghost? And it's quiet. It's so quiet, Paul. And finally, tentatively, one hand at the back goes up. And the people around kind of start reacting and going. And one of the spotlights in this big tent revival swings around. And you see this man at the back with his hand up. And this preacher up at the counter says, do my eyes deceive me? Sir, are you saying that you have, in a physical sense, had sexual relations with a ghost before? Is this true? And the hand stands up and he puts up, he says, and the preacher goes, hallelujah! This is a man who has been as close to the afterlife as is possible to be. Come on up here. Come on up on stage. And the people are cheering and music's playing and they're cheering and clapping and laughing and dancing in the aisles. And this guy comes up and now he's all grins. He was nervous and anxious, but he sees how accepting everybody is. So he comes up on stage. And this preacher puts his arms around him. He goes, now, sir, I would like for you to tell me the story. What happened? How did you have sexual relations with a ghost? And the guy says, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said goat.
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 You said ghost, and he thought you meant goat.
It's funny because
Joke's on him.
You saving that up
funny
since we mentioned
because-
goat earlier in the show?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, we
Frozen
missed the
goat.
super chat. That was a
Missed
good
the
one,
super
Dave.
chat.
Well done.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, the Ronin. $2. Actually, I died 10 years ago today. Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ronan.
Wow. I am surprised that Google still has is letting you do super chats.
I'm going to go ahead and say you don't look a day over 8 years dead.
That's right. You don't look like you've been dead for more than a week.
Fantastic. I don't know.
Fantastic.
You remember
Whatever it
that Death Becomes Her?
Death Becomes Her was a movie.
With it was Bruce Willis and I can't remember who were the women in that movie.
Was it
Meryl Streep, maybe?
I was gonna say Meryl Streep. Was that right?
I think it is. It's a fantastic movie. It's an amazing movie. One of the many.
Remember. I don't know that I ever actually saw it.
You never saw Death Becomes. Oh, you should, Paul, because it is legitimately. Yes, Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. You should see that. It's a super funny movie. You should definitely see Death Becomes Her. Yeah, Goldie Hawn. Yes, Vishanti. No, see, watch Death Becomes Her. You and Shannon should watch Death Becomes Her because it is legitimately one of the greatest comedies of all time. Yeah. Wow. Okay, nobody said anything about dead bodies.
Without comment.
We're talking about goats, not necrophilia.
All right. Well,
wow.
That is a lovely note to end on. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for our annual. We'll see if this becomes annual. A little bit disappointed with the ghosts, but we had fun and we had
We'll have fun.
costumes.
Hey, next year is going to be better.
Next year we'll include candy.
Ooh.
Actually, the booze is fine.
By candy, do you mean edibles?
It could be. We could do that.
Yep.
Special gummies.
Yes. Old granddad. It's one of the best bourbons you can get, by the way. Highly recommend to anybody who gets it. It's very inexpensive and pretty damn delicious.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining Toast to Toast. And until next time. What?
Before we go away, Paul.
Before we go away.
I tell a joke every week.
Yeah.
We're ending a little earlier than we normally do. Tell me, Paul, do you know any jokes? Have you got a joke?
I don't know any jokes. Not a single joke.
You got to know at least one.
No, I don't know jokes.
I'm holding your feet to the fire. It's got to be a joke your dad's told you, somebody's told you. You got to have some kind of joke.
I don't do jokes.
I did a million shitty impressions. I embarrassed myself all night tonight.
I did joke. I started the thing off with Joker impressions, so you know,
That's fair. All right, I'll let you slide.
Yeah, I didn't come prepared with a joke, but we can try for next time.
Is there no joke that's like this is your dad's favorite joke that he always told you?
So the one who's that guy standing by the Pope, which you told last week, is one of my dad's favorite.
It's one of your dad. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? But anyways, yeah.
Or whatever time one of the episodes recently when you did that one. Yeah,
I have a hard time. You got nothing?
Got nothing. Sorry.
That's fair.
All right. Well, now that we've delayed the stream for that.
Tell a David Bowie memory.
This is the only thing on YouTube right now. We've delayed. The next stream is waiting for us, and they're sitting around. Hey, that dude's got no jokes, and we can't come on YouTube till he's done.
I'll make one up.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
And that's the end of our show. Maybe.